All right. Looks like we're good to go. Okay. And hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Smudcast number 319. This is Luffy, the asexual hero we deserve. This is obviously a One Piece YouTube anime video by, let me see this person's name, or Dealing with Nihilism. Okay. Always a fun topic. If they're going to bring in some references to some famous Nietzschean quotes, or I don't know, other philosophers that like nihilism, I doubt it, but, these people could be intelligent. I've never watched one of these videos before from Dealing with Nihilism. So this is a video that came out last year in June, has about 67,000 views, and this is a 10K sub YouTube channel, so it's not too popular. But the like-dislike ratio is not a big deal. It's 4K upvotes and 420 downvotes. So a little small, noticeable tick in the downvotes, but still a positive video. And you have to imagine the people watching this like to talk about sexuality, sexual identity, and all kinds of nonsense that we just sort of sigh and disregard because it's ridiculous. But hey, welcome to the Smudcast. That's what we do. So anyway, also to welcome to the Smudcast is two new guys. We have Tuna and we have Otaku Sage. And if you can't tell the two between Tuna is the Tuna and Dollface is on the left. So it's pretty easy to make those happen.
And I'm the guy with flipping the voice actor for Dante for Devil May Cry in the profile picture.
Oh, sweet stuff.
Yep, that's me on the left.
Yeah, so a tuna, a doll, and a weeb walk into a bar.
Yeah, this is the weebiest sort of discussion we're going to be having. We got a lot of people on panel who know the manga, who know the anime very well. I don't, because it's not my bag, but I have watched a few episodes. I have read a few mangas. It's a great manga. It's really well done.
It is.
So I won't say it's bad, but what I read I enjoyed. So, okay. So we've got, what is it, 10 minutes? What is this thing? Yeah, 10:05. Yeah, it's very short. Not a big video. But, oh boy, sexuality and Luffy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
This is
gonna be a fun one, isn't it?
Pure degeneracy, probably.
Oh hell yeah!
Can't wait to hear someone talk about their fetish regarding Luffy and all his non-sexual exploits that should have been exploits or whatever. I don't know.
I think the point is that it's good that he has no sexual exploits.
Maybe. I see nothing wrong with it.
All the other heroes are just too horny.
Well, this is true.
I can't relate.
This is possibly true in some characters. The thing is, the characters in the story and the art style itself is so strange. They're so elastic and flexible, and they're doing superhuman feats. I don't think
for Luffy.
Sexuality is on the tip of their eyes. They're sort of like, what am I doing? Like this, I'm fighting a giant sea monster. Why am I concerned about that?
Sanji's horny as fuck, but other than that,
yeah. Well.
And Brooke. Let's not forget Brooke.
Yeah, Brooke. Luffy wants to become the Pirate King. Let the man achieve his dream without dragging your degeneracy into this.
No, Brooke does want to bone though. Oh, is that how does Brooke's laugh go? Is it? Yeah.
Is it, yeah.
Do they all? Yeah.
I love Brooke.
And it's always played for laughs, like the constant nosebleeds, the constant people falling over and getting lightheaded. It's actually
a plot point at one point for Sanji. Like he actually has blood loss at one point from a nosebleed, and it's a whole big thing of like him being like sick from having a nosebleed.
It lasts throughout the entire arc of the Fishman Island arc after he comes back.
I seem to remember an episode where he's in the body of one of the girls and he's just losing his shit. It's just like the craziest thing.
Yeah, I think that was a filler. I think they switched. I think they all switched. Oh wait, no, it wasn't. It was during they were on, and it was during the Punk Hazard arc, and one of the characters switched their bodies, and so Sanji was in Nami's body, and he started to fool around.
Yeah.
One of my friends, she showed me like some out of context fights from that arc, and it made Law my favorite character just by his design and his power. He's just so cool.
I think it was Law that switched them, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's because he is it the hearts, isn't it? Isn't
right.
He moved the hearts.
Okay.
It's like that show Once Upon a Time. They did the same thing with the hearts.
Oh dear. So many things I don't know well enough to have my professional opinion on, but I know you guys do, so that's always good to not seem like an idiot when you're surrounded by smarter people than you. So, all right. Let's get going. Here's Mike Testa, as always. Hey, Mike. Why is Wisp a fish, and who is this person? Otaku Sage has been in, I think you've been in Super Chats before. I think I've seen you a few times.
Yep, I have.
Yeah. So not a unknown to the server as well. So again, you guys want to be on the Smudcast, just join the Discord, say hello. And there's lots of videos that no one wants to do, but you might. And I'll talk to you about it, and we'll get going. It's no problem. So, yeah, Wisp, you think we'd have a German person who knows his niche talk about this sort of topic, also who likes anime, but nope. Wisp is doing his thing. That's cool. Wisp can take a break.
Wisp knows One Piece, though.
No, he doesn't actually, because whatever reason, he never got around to it. It wasn't his thing. But, man, anything else related to anime or manga or video games or media or the German culture, that's our guy. So, guy, girl.
Frankly, yeah, in terms of One Piece, I'm surprised they didn't bring up, what do you call him, Ivankov? I thought that would be the one to bring up.
Oh, for what situation?
In terms of like sexual shit, whatever.
Oh well, apparently she actually does have a video on the Okami.
Isn't like the more videos tab?
Yeah, she actually has a few about Sailor Moon and the lesbian heroines and Aluka from Hunter x Hunter trans.
It's like why X is important or why X matters or.
Well, I can understand why One Piece is such a focus because it's kind of like going to a crazy festival in the street, but you're on the water. And it's just all these crazy floats and big things happening, and it's wild and jumping, and it's just a festival of crazy fun.
Yeah, that's true.
And people can enjoy it for many reasons. It's when you start getting these people who are like, well, why aren't they having sex? Like, come on.
Exactly. Yeah. There's so much to One Piece that just teaches you, the values of friendship and family. It goes and keeping close bonds and holding true to the good values that I think anything that involving sex or really much of romance, at least in the present, is not really that important.
It feels very different when you're comparing it to another story or a Shonen Jump story like Naruto, for example, where he is a prankster. He's always sort of trying to hit on some of the girls or one of the girls, but it's never really the focus. We know he's into girls, but it's not.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
he wants to achieve his dream of becoming Hokage to get he wants to be acknowledged so he doesn't get ostracized anymore and not get hated because he has the demon within him, the Kurama within him.
They make that a plot point in Naruto that the reason why he pulls the pranks and he hits on the girls that he wants to be noticed. Even hitting on Sakura was just him making it a competition with Sasuke, which is acknowledged in the final movie.
Yeah, he just wanted the attention for it, regardless of if it was bad or good attention, because he was he's an orphan.
Right.
So, dragging this kind of stuff into a discussion about Naruto wouldn't make any sense until Shippuden.
Not even really then, because there's hardly a focus.
Yeah, but in the last where he acknowledges his feelings to Hinata, it makes more sense there because that's kind of the focus of that part in the story. They're done with the war and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad we don't have the actual sex scenes in Naruto, with all the fucking shadow clones and shit.
It would get kinky.
It's like the couch meme,
bruh. It's just Hinata and just all the Naruto shadow clones behind. Somebody make that in the stream memes.
Please, dude. I actually, I probably have a meme of that on my phone somewhere. I'm a huge, like, I'm a repository of useless Naruto knowledge.
There has to be one. There has to be one meme that does that.
I can imagine all the Dojin artists have done that like 20 years ago before it was.
They have.
I can.
As soon as you introduce the idea of shadow clones, you're like, oh, I see it. Rule 34 artists are like, I see.
Like,
Yes,
write that
go
down.
on.
Write that down.
Go on, write that down.
This is lore specific. We can actually use this. Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Taker 610. The show is not about romance. FFS. He's not asexual. Yes, we know. Everyone knows it. But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Mike Testa. Hey again. No, I think you mean Nico Robin and her power. What do you mean exactly?
Yeah. I think
She's
can,
got arms.
Yeah.
Well, there is a
Like
there is a
anybody.
point where Robin uses her ability to grab Frankie's penis.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it happened right at the end of the Water 7 arc when he's joining the crew. She grabs onto it and starts clutching it.
Yeah, that's the arc that got me to want to read it because that arc is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's slow, really slow in the anime, but finely paced in the manga. But that's how it always is.
All right. Here's Alex Halo, one of our other famous resident anime buffs.
If we ever do an episode on Fate, we need to get Alex.
I'm going to have to either get Alex $100 so he can keep super chatting or just get him on board because he'll just have too many things to say.
Oh yeah.
And Fate is one of those things where it's a mess. Like there's so many dimensions and versions and timelines and you're just like, okay.
You can very easily make a video if you're someone who likes talking about this stuff about how Artoria Pendragon is a I don't know trans icon or because some of the people are his historical figures are gender bent and Fate, so you can definitely just go ahead and make a video like that.
Oh God.
Like all those creatures that claim that the Astolfo is trans, even though he says he's a man multiple times in a freaking series. It's like, it's so bad.
Yeah, there was a lot of hoopla about when the word trap came out last year, and it was like,
yeah,
oh my God, they're still screeching about it.
Really?
Yeah, they're so ass blasted over it. I'm just like, freaking Yamero.
They banned the word from the anime Reddit, I believe.
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
God.
Here it is. Here's Joe Crazy. Just because a character isn't romantically involved with anyone, that doesn't mean they are asexual. Why are people trying to apply it to characters? Because they learned a word. And they're passionate about this other thing, and they can apply that word to that thing because their brain made the connection, and that's it.
And we'll see. That's the issue. Is that they make the person focuses a lot on Luffy, but there are so many people in One Piece that just aren't romantically involved with anybody. Nami and Robin, for example, the two female characters on the ship, they're never explicit about who they're interested in or anything like that. They just kind of go about their business, and that goes for not most of them, but I'd say Zoro. Zoro never shows any interest in women, just sleeping, booze, and working out.
I'm getting lost.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Here's Mike Testa one more time. Robin's super feet, and FEAT in quotations. All right.
Yeah, I think he's referring to the fact that after the time skip, Robin can make a giant version of herself with her hands, and that has giant feet too, so she can stomp on people.
Somebody's giantess fetish.
It's a giant, yeah.
All right. Here's the mechanics. Thank you. Luffy is just a idiot with a dream to work for. Yeah, that's a good way. Yeah, it's a nice way of putting it. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. That is certain in every scenario. So.
Oh yeah, he's kind of dumb, but Luffy has also displayed various levels of intelligence when it comes to combat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's like Naruto in that regard, where they get very creative with their abilities, and that's what makes it fun to watch.
When you're talking about life or social scenarios, he's just alien, and then when it comes to things getting serious, he's like, oh, okay, now I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
sorry, Smud, go ahead.
yeah, that's kind of the comedic elements because it jumps from action to comedy, and sometimes they blend it. But when it's really action packed, the animation they really blow the budget and they go crazy with doing all the big action scenes of him jumping and running and dodging and fighting. So
heck yeah!
That's why I appreciated the anime because they actually drew stuff. They animated. It wasn't just stupid animations or reused animations. They actually took the effort. So
I'll just say that I do like in the later seasons, like where they are currently, the animation definitely spiked high up. Like they're doing really well right now. But I would say after the time skip to where they are now, actually there was a large decline in the quality of the animation that it was basically memed out of. So I mean, but that will happen with a large series like One Piece, happened with Dragon Ball Z, happened with Naruto. But yeah, I agree with you. When they get serious, it can really look just fantastic.
Yeah. So after the time skip, let me just get the dates right because he's around 18 years old now after the time skip, or is it before the time skip? There can't be that much.
Yes. Okay. Luffy is 18, I think, and Luffy's 18. Usopp is the same age. Nami is 20 years old. I think so. I think Zoro's 20. Brook is like how many years old?
Right.
Robin's like 30.
And the only one that I know is really into Luffy is Boa, and she's at least 30, I'd say.
I'd say around that age, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So she's lusting after Luffy because I can't even remember why.
Fucking elastic hawk, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I think she just never met a guy who didn't care.
Didn't she see him naked? Isn't that like? And he's.
I think
he lives in.
Well, no, there's a reason as to why Boa loves Luffy, and it's not because he's immune to her devil fruit. It's because he punched a celestial dragon, and Boa Hancock was a slave to the celestial dragon, and so when she heard that Luffy.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when she heard that Luffy punched a celestial dragon, which in the One Piece world is akin to committing the gravest crime ever, she saw that he just doesn't care. He's willing to go against authority, and being a slave to one of those guys and seeing a man that was willing to stand up to them, she fell in love.
Ah, there we go.
One where he punches him so hard that the animation goes from like color to black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was amazing. Probably one of the best scenes in the show.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Smud. I dropped the meme I was talking about in the group chat. If you want to look at it.
Okay. I'm going to save that for when we get to the end of the video because we have so many memes by then, so I don't want to detract. But thanks a lot. We'll get to that. Here is on the donations, just because you guys can't hear donations, they play a sound and you can't see them, so I have to actually read them out. No one knows except for me. So here's Roan Harushin for the $10. Thank you. I left an independent VTubers Discord channel after the mods banned the word trap. I wasn't about to endure the censorship. Yeah, that's weird. That's silly. You can't use certain words. Like I can't say cocktail because it has the word cock in it on certain Discords, and God knows I can't talk about my love of drinking, but I probably should be talking about booze in an anime Discord, but still, you can use words.
Well, see, I think the problem with trap is that, at least from what I've heard, is that people believe it carries a negative connotation because it's like a trans person is trying to trick someone, but that isn't what it means. And an anime just means someone who the audience believes to be a woman, but is revealed to be a man, or vice versa.
Yeah, it's never been a negative thing. It's just been like, oh, really? That's a girl, or that's a guy.
Right, yeah.
Huh. Okay, cool.
Isn't them assuming that a trap is automatically trans? Isn't that kind of transphobic in and of itself?
Well,
yes, because I don't know about that because there are some characters that are just that do identify, I guess, as or just not identify as male, but are just men that have very feminine features and are just they're into girls like every other guy. So I mean, it's not like they're not trans.
Griffith's pretty feminine, but he's also into women.
Right.
Yeah, that was the first example that popped in my head. So.
All right, here is the Mechanist. We're still going on with the super chats and the donations, so I'm sorry we haven't started the video yet, but this usually happens anyway. So we'll get along to it very quickly. What's y'all's devil's fruit? Mine is poison. I don't really have a favorite, actually. I think they're all weird, which is kind of the point of all the abilities. So
I think if I had to pick, I would probably choose Brooks. I mean, I get to live forever, so.
I quite like Smokers. I think Smokers one is really cool.
I'd go with Aces.
Pretty cool. That's a pretty cool power.
Because at that point you can practically fly.
Every Logia type.
Yeah, there's all these random ones. It's all fun. It's all cute. It's all done for getting the story moving and having unique characters, and that's the joy of One Piece. It's all kind of weird, zany fun, without going like JoJo fun. Just sort of like, all right, yeah, this is a nice level of goofy, over the top animation with
I think the Devil Fruit, like almost like par system, is like it's so useful from a writing standpoint because it can just be basically anything.
It can get pretty ridiculous though. I mean,
but also it's like each Devil Fruit has its own rules, and as long as they're consistent, like self-consistent, it's fine.
I'll give it that.
Once it started explaining the artificial stuff or whatever, it was just like, okay, this is getting a bit too confusing now.
It does get a bit contrived whenever, because in recent chapters we find out that there's a devil fruit that can literally send people forward in time.
Yeah, that's a weird one. As long I can't send them
crazy.
back, as far as I know, but it's like interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, nice twist.
I wonder if I've got so many like questions about like what is. It seems like a really big Chekhov's gun. Do you know what I mean? Like it seems like a really big. Oh, they're gonna do something with this where a character's gonna use it, and then we're not gonna see them for like 100 chapters.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna come. I'm like, oh, it's you who went from when you used it. I feel like something like that's gonna happen.
It's a lot to wrap your brain around because they keep changing bits and pieces, and you're like, oh, this is a new kind. And you're like, oh, all right, sure.
So Smud, you mentioned JoJo. My friend, he's an engineer. I showed him the part from part 2 of JoJo where he shoots the ball around the Coliseum, and he went on like a 35-minute rant about why that summon doesn't work, and it was amazing.
No, okay, physics doesn't work that way. It's like, we know. It's okay. It's all right.
That's what I said. It's an anime. Enjoy the dumb ride.
All right, here is Taker610 on to the donations. Thank you, sir. Strangely enough, I got my One Piece start by watching the Abridged series None Piece on YouTube by Purple Eyes WTF. It's a short series, but hilarious. I think all the Abridged YouTube takes on anime are fantastic. They're pretty funny.
I was legitimately watching that last night. Sorry to cut you off, Smud. Like I was actually watching that last night, and I love Purple Eyes. I wish he did more Abridged stuff. His Code Geass Abridged.
The Code Geass one. Oh my god.
Yeah, me and my friend we
so good.
quote it all the time.
Is this the one where it's I can't find any clothes.
What do you mean?
What do you mean you're at soup? I mean,
I'm at the soup store.
Why are you buying clothes at the soup store?
Fuck you.
It's so good.
All right, here's Fritz. Thank you, Fritz. God damn it, Luffy's not asexual. He's just not interested in sex because he doesn't have the time to. I just think he's not even aware of it. He could get all the all the pussy he wants after he becomes the Pirate King. Jeez, talk about death of the author. I think it's
multitask. Like he doesn't even need to be in the same room. Like the dick can just be in a different fucking room.
Yeah.
Like he can just be doing whatever. It can just.
He's a bit busy. Yeah, he's got stuff to do. So the sexual aspect can be done off screen.
Yeah, it can wait.
Anyway, here's Tyler Preston for the donation. Then we'll get started. People like Curio, are incapable of understanding that crossdressers and transgender are not the same thing. You'll understand what I'm saying when you get to covering his Catherine full body video. If we ever want to go there again, we covered Curio a few times already. It is a mishmash of bad takes and trying to prop yourself up while showing off how trans. It's like, I'm so trans, and he wants to show. It's just like, dude, we get it. You've got an ego. We've got it. Okay, take your wonderful kit and caboodle and make sense before you start making videos, please. It's getting tiresome.
There's already a trans character in Catherine, and they wanted to make the alien, spoiler alert, in full body, the new trans character. It's like, there's already a well-written trans character right here, guys. Come on.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Also play Catherine. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is fun. Well, the game is fine, but, the cutscenes are where it's at.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, okay, we are all in the watch together. We can go. Let's do it.
Okay.
One Piece is my absolute favorite manga/anime series. And there are many reasons why. The world building is superb. The character backstory...
the world building's fine. I always... Whenever people say that, it's like, have you read books? Can you compare it to the actual world building and stories that are all written?
And having read a lot... I've read books, but I think the world building in One Piece is still really good, though.
Oh, yeah. The actual design, I would say. But the details are nothing... Like, I always say, is it as good as Tolkien? Is it as good as these authors? It's like, well, no, obviously not. It's not as big, but it's still pretty freaking huge.
It's pretty fucking big.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
Right.
It's huge.
So I want to know what they define world building as aside from setting, as aside from cool magic or whatever. Give me a definition, because we can go to Sanderson, we can go to all these other authors that they can give you a definition within a paragraph, which might take a second or two on a screen.
Yeah, because I used to be a part of the when I first started reading One Piece, I thought it was just great with its world building, but when you really take a step back and look at it, while it's a very interesting and I guess diverse world with a whole bunch of characters and races and powers and such like that, and I mean by that is political powers and such, it's really just a whole lot of that. And it doesn't, and while it does build some things up early on, some of it you can kind of just tell is made up on the spot. And so I think that rather than the world building being good, it's just a very colorful world with a whole lot going on. And that's what I think is appealing to people. And, it's not really much of a great in the, building up things sense. In my opinion.
Like you can argue it has a map, it has all these things that you would think a fantasy story might have to establish locations, but it doesn't really matter where they are in the world specifically. They're always going to travel around anyway to get there. And
it is kind of, even though the world obviously isn't, it does seem like we are just sort of going in a straight line. Essentially, we're sort of just going through the world and going to different islands, but it's sort of just it's more like, it's not like an open world game. It's like it's like a linear game, It's like you're just going through the next level, right? You're just going to the next stage.
There's a set path because they can't just go anywhere. They have to follow the log pose or else they'll get lost.
But they don't what do you call it? Like
backtrack.
But yeah, they don't backtrack a lot. It's pretty much go to the next bit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would say that they do backtrack quite a bit to earlier parts, especially
the bar.
In the manga. The author includes these one-page story bits where side characters.
Right. But I mean, like the actual main crew that we're following, like they don't actually go back to like the island where they met Chopper, like for instance. Like they're not going like they're not going back that far.
Oh yeah, but that's also explained. I mean, they like I said, they'll sometimes go back and revisit it. Not the crew themselves, but the story will at least acknowledge that they still exist. But the crew, there's a story reason, as I said, with the log post, why they can't go back. Well, I mean, they could, but they would have to revisit every single island they've ever visited in order to get back to that one. Because if they don't, then they'll be lost at sea. Because if they don't follow the log pose, things will go bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, the world building is fine. I mean, there's a lot to One Piece that you can appreciate. That characters make their returns. You still like the warlord system. Like learning about how all the warlords pretty much get a free pass from the government, and how that's affected many countries because they've basically been allowed to do what they want. There's also the emperors of the sea, like Whitebeard, and when he gets killed, and how all of his territory that he was protecting is now being under attack by pirates. So it's just stuff like that adds to what's great about
one thing that's kind of underdeveloped is the whole Revolutionary Army thing, because it's sort of just, it pops in every now and then, but it's so vague. Like it's so like there is a Revolutionary Army. It's
like how powerful they are. Like we don't know
that.
I
cool.
agree with that.
It's like fair enough. Okay, they exist, but we don't really know like anything about them.
The supernovas too.
Well, I mean,
yeah, I mean that's sort of just. It's just almost like a newspaper like tabloid like headline of like what to call them. It's just people talking about them and giving them this sort of title. It's not it's not an official thing. It's just like the newspaper essentially has just gone, oh, these like this is the important like group.
We do see them before they arrive at Sabaody, and they meet all of the supernovas that the newspaper calls the worst generation. Then they just tell us that these guys have racked up large bounties, and then after Luffy and the crew get separated, we don't see much of them, but we do kind of catch up with them later on. Like at Whole Cake, we see that Capone is now the stepson to, or rather, no, he married into Big Mom's family. We see that Hawkins and Eustace Kid and some of the other worst generation are now working under Kaido. But yeah, in terms of what they've done, we don't really see a whole lot of it. I guess that's because we don't really learning about it through newspapers is enough, because I'm not really sure we really need to focus so much on characters that, they matter, but they're not really that big of a focus for the story.
All right.
You don't want to over-explain it.
Yeah.
Here is don't associate with knitters. One Piece characters aren't asexual, they're just monogamous. One Piece is short for one piece of ass after all. Okay. Here's Fritz. No, we'll keep going. Why is it always female YouTubers that are obsessed with the sexuality of fictional characters? Is their collection of vibrators and simps on social media not good enough for them?
9 times out of 10, it's a woman. Not to be sexist or anything, but
not to be sexist or anything, but women.
But followed up with a butt. That can't be good.
If only my action adventure show for kids had romance in it. It's like, no.
Not to be sexist or anything. I kind of hate women, to be honest.
Just to say one last, just say like this one last thing on that comment you made. There's Smut. It's like, I understand that these series are popular. I enjoy a lot of shonen manga and a lot of anime that are made for kids, but I would never advocate for, I don't know, even something like, I don't know, Toy Story or something like that. These are all made for kids, but they are able to be enjoyed by adults. But you should enjoy them for what they are, and kind of disassociate that with wanting to have it be something more adult oriented. If you want that, there's so many stories for that, but stories like these are meant for young adults, like young teenagers. So we should let them enjoy their stuff and not kind of
I don't
mess
want
around
the
with it too much.
I don't want the fucking like adult sequel to Toy Story where they're all sitting there and all they see is, why is that one in a jar? Like, oh god.
Oh.
Is it Rainbow Dash?
Oh god.
Well, I seem to remember an anime series called El Hazard, where there was a character who like there's 3 priestesses. One of them wants to get a husband. That's her thing in the story. So she's chasing after the gym instructor fellow, and he's always running. He actually marries her, but he's always running away from her because she's, it's the relationship they have. But the main character ends up falling in love with a automaton who, because he has the power of controlling technology, and he gets to know her. So it happens naturally as the plot goes, because he ends up using, and they end up helping each other together. So it makes sense within the simplicity of that plot line. So I don't mind it if any element is introduced, if it makes sense and it makes sense to the plot. And
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so if Luffy realizes, hey, Nami's kind of cute, and why is she smiling at me all the time? Duh, stuff like that. Then you have to build that up and have that work. Not just, okay, now we're married because we solved the curse of this thing. And you're like, what?
I'm right there with you there.
Yeah. So, plus it's not that show. It's never been that show. It's always done it for adventure and laughs, and we all know that. So,
yeah.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Are really well thought out, and it'll make you go from laughing to crying in mere seconds. It's just an overall amazing piece of work. But for me, what makes One Piece particularly special is the fact that the main character, Luffy, is Ace. So, okay, not that Ace. I mean Ace as in asexual.
Okay, here we go.
Asexual.
What?
Yeah.
First of all, it's not even that uncommon in fucking Shonen for the main character to just not give a fuck about females. It's not.
Look at something like Toriko or Dragon Ball, for example.
Oh God.
Like, just going to the first thing that I think pops in anyone's head when they think of Shonen, just Dragon Ball. Goku, even though Goku marries Chi-Chi, I'm pretty sure you could still say that he doesn't even know what the heck just happened. Like how did this kid get made? Like, he doesn't even know what a kiss is. He's never kissed his wife.
Well, that was the whole joke was that we're at that tournament, and she was pissed off at him because they made a promise when they were younger or something, and
yeah,
he didn't know that getting fish or whatever. What the hell were they asking him to do?
Oh, in the original Dragon Ball.
Yeah, and she was like, "We were supposed to get married." He's like, "What are you talking about? I thought that just means we go get some food or something." It was like, no.
I feel like that's kind of a common trope, isn't it? The sort of like accidentally, in my culture, this is a marriage proposal type of thing.
The female was like, "Oh my God, you touched me on my shoulder, and therefore."
You see, yeah.
It's like, what? What are you talking about?
You said, what is it? You said I'm your wife 3 times. Now we have to.
Yeah. It's kind of an ongoing joke, but even the main characters in these stories, they're so, even if they are aware of the sexuality and the customs of a tribe or some new place they've never been to, the male character is always not open to suggestion or not even addressing the problem because they're the nice, kind Japanese, mild-mannered sort of mentality that most of these characters are. And everyone sort of goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, the guy has other things going on, but that's an option in the story. We're just not addressing it right now because that's where all the women's heads are at because they're women."
Right. I think in the case of Luffy and Goku, it's just some. I think it's less to do with the fact that they're just the nice guys, but it's because I mean in some anime where the character isn't, or rather is interested, like we know that he's interested in females because he's blushing and he's getting all embarrassed, but he doesn't want to get into that kind of relationship right now. That there'll still be those indicators, but in the case of Goku and Luffy, it's more the fact that they just don't have the same level of common sense that the average person does. I've seen an anime called, it's one of the spin-off series of Tenchi Muyo called War on Geminar that focuses on Tenchi's younger brother, and he's kind of like the animal-esque character as well. And while he does get embarrassed, he isn't. He's so much of a free spirit that he doesn't want to be tied down to any level of commitment, despite all the women in his life wanting to, get with him. So it's more that rather than not making these characters interested because they don't want to have sex, or they don't want to be in a relationship at the moment because they're too committed to what they want to do, it's rather that they're just in simple terms, just too stupid to understand what is even being asked of them.
A lot of them are very oblivious.
I remember because I read a lot of isekai manga, and there's one called The Beginning After the End or something like that, and the guy who gets transferred to another body, that is not only was a previous king, but he was also an old king, so he sees everyone as like this little boy or girl. So when he gets to like 14 and his girlfriend not his girlfriend, but his friend as a girl from his little age, starts trying to make advances to him, he's like, how do I address this? Because I obviously care about her, just not in that way because I see her like my granddaughter. So he has to like figure this out. There's like 2 or 3 stories. It's happening actually right now in the manga. He's just figuring out, what do I do? But it comes to the conclusion where I do care about you, but I can't do anything about it right now. I'm not ready. So they at least address it, that this is a society, women are women, the boys are expected to, chase them or whatever. And in this case, because he's so, like in isekai, usually the main characters are so awesome that they have a lot of people watching them. And in this case, he has so many things going on that he just can't devote himself. That's the excuse. It's like, okay, fine. Let's keep going. So that's all it takes. A little addressment by the writer, and then they just focus on. But obviously the author doesn't care. He's like, this is not a big deal. Who cares? It's fun. Is it fun? Do it. Let's write about it. So that's where I get the mentality of One Piece. It's always a fun adventure. So Mike Testa, one more time. It doesn't make sense with the spelling. Why even? Yeah, I don't know. Why? I'm Ace. This is more than just. Yeah, it's more than just knowing the word and talking to your other SJW friends that know these terms. It's like, I'm going to make a flag, and I'm going to have a keyword, and I'm going to shorten it, and I'm going to make it sound cool. Like, okay.
If anything, just call it Asex.
Asex. Hey. It's
Hey.
All right.
Sexuality describes the lack of sexual attraction. This is different from aromantic, which is the lack of romantic attraction. Although sometimes
God, who the hell cares?
I'm not even sure what that is.
What does that even mean?
I have no idea.
Hear Wes just having an aneurysm over.
What do you fucking? I don't understand. Like, what do you fucking mean? Like this separation? Like, what do you like? If you're not.
Yeah, I know.
If there's no sexual attraction, what is the difference?
We are splitting hairs
between
here.
A friendship.
Yeah, we are. When we feel amorous to someone, that's both, to me, romantic and sexual. Now, maybe you could say this is a romantic dinner because there's all these nice mood music and scenery, and it's nice and quiet sometimes, and the candlelight. It's like, okay, that would get you in the mood to be aroused by all these stimuli with your partner.
So, like, how do you cheat on a non-sexual, quote unquote, romantic relationship? Like, how do you cheat on that? If you fuck someone else, but it was a non-sexual romantic relationship, is that not cheating because it wasn't sexual in the first place? Like, is that like totally fine? Are they totally okay with that?
I think some people would just classify that having sex regardless of if there's any romantic feelings involved.
No. But if it's supposed to be romantic, but it's asexual, right? But one of them wants to have sex, just not with that person.
Yeah, it's
so
like
they go fuck someone non-romantic.
It's like
is that cheating on the romantic part? What is going on?
What? Think of flirting is not considered sex, but it's considered romantic interludes. Like you're doing something with someone else you shouldn't be doing because you already have someone. You should not be flirting with other people when you're with someone already. So it's kind of like passing the stage. Like once you get past the flirting stage and you have a significant other, it's like, okay, you don't have to do that shit anymore because they see you as a person and they can accept you as whatever. So to do that suddenly to someone else is like, that's not appropriate, at least from a romantic perspective, because there's no sex there, but you're arousing sexual desire in someone else. So unless you're a performer and that's your point, like a musician or something, and you sing sexy songs or something, I don't know, that's a performance, that's professional. So that makes sense. But in a social setting, no, that would be improper. And what that means, I don't in this context of asexuality? I couldn't tell you.
I'm just so lost.
Why does it need to be visible? Why do we need to Why do we need to see you not being sexual?
Yeah, I have romantic feelings for
Why is
you,
that
but I
so
don't want to have sex with you. It's like, what does that mean? Like, if a lady said that to you, I'd be like, you're confused. Have a great life, because this is not worth my time.
It's just a lot of people waving a flag that just says, "I have no strong sexual desires one way or the other." just with a megaphone. I have no sexual desires one way or the other. It's like, that's nice. Okay, that's nice. That.
You look up the definition of aromantic, it gets even more confusing. So I would. It's apparently you can be aromantic sexual or aromantic asexual.
That's stupid.
What? But what is romantic asexual? Because then,
don't ask me.
How can you be romantic and not? What?
Well, see, in that kind of
my brain hurts.
Makes you wonder why there's a clarification between asexual and aromantic. I thought they were two separate things, but apparently you can be aromantic asexual. So that's just a whole nother bag of worms right there.
Yeah, but I get like aromantic sexual, because that's like I don't want to fucking know you. I just want to fuck you. You know,
that's what we call a one night stand before we called it.
That's called
aromantic
Sigma
sexual
meal grind set. You know, that's the Sigma grind set.
I guess a romantic date without the promise of sex is just like hand holding and walking around and talking.
We're getting real lewd now.
I guess. I mean, if I was a guy, I'd be bored out of my mind. But I guess that's what women are thinking.
I don't think that's what they're thinking.
I don't know.
I don't think a woman wants that.
Well, this is true. Most of the women they know.
I keep seeing these flags. Why are the people from there always so ugly?
I don't have romantic feelings. Why do they do? I don't know.
What, are these some obscure obscure Eastern European countries I don't know about?
The aromantics, yeah, they come from the Rantics region of Europe.
Yes.
Here's Berserk 850. Take my money, stupid bitch. What?
What the hell?
The Mantic states.
I will take your money, stupid bitch or not. All right. We're not even 40 seconds in here. Jeez, we're talking too much.
It hasn't even got to the One Piece part yet.
All right, let's go.
These two things go hand in hand. It's important to note that even within asexuality, there is a huge spectrum, and there is no one type
Oh my
of asexual.
fucking god!
Let's not
Who
even.
the hell fucking cares?
Open that up.
This is such a pointless fucking distinction. Holy fuck!
What is happening?
It's going to be at least 2 more diagrams.
Oh wait, no. What do you mean you're between asexual and sex? You're either asexual or you're not. Because anything else, anything that above nothing would be just sexual. What do you need? What do you mean? You don't need a fucking different word for just like different levels.
My erection is not.
Who cares?
Is not even 10%. I'm at like a 5%.
You don't need a fucking category for your exact level of libido. Like, holy fuck.
I'm like 0.8% asexual.
It's coming up. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, it takes a while because of my natural asexual organs.
I'll get there eventually. I'm still trying to decide whether or not I find you attractive.
So anyway, we have gray A, whatever the hell that is. And there's demisexual, only experiences sexual attraction after a strong. That's what sex is. You have that. It's a feeling. You feel it. It's an emotional bond. What is this?
I don't really care about that, to be honest. I don't really care about getting emotional bonds and shit. That's not necessary. If someone's hot, they're hot. You know, I've already decided before you've said a word. Okay, if I see someone and they're hot, they're hot. You know, I don't need to know them.
Hold on a second. Okay, are they saying now that simply finding a partner who you love and have an emotional bond with is now called a demisexual? Isn't that just normal?
That would be normal.
Well,
yeah.
it's like I don't know, man. I don't need to like get to know someone and have like a strong emotional bond to get horny. You know,
no.
To be turned on and to want to fuck. You know, I don't need. That's not necessary.
I'm thinking this is a feminine response to sexuality because males have a very high sex drive. We can get aroused for no reason at all. We could wake up that way. It's natural. And women don't have as much testosterone or versions thereof. So their arousal level is a bit different. So maybe they are so nuanced when they get turned on. They can actually explain, well, I like him, but not enough to want to sleep with him, but he does make me kind of wet. You're like, okay, cool. Then we have the women who are really ready to go, and we have all these other stages of whatever the crap they're talking about. We have no idea. And they're too either ignorant or stupid to figure that out. And then there's trying to now, I guess, with demisexual, like, oh, I feel a sexual inclination towards my boyfriend because we've been together and I get him and I like him and I love him and yada, yada, yada. So.
Well, I think that might just be the case. I mean, rather than trying to figure out your feelings and sort them out, if you just put a label on it and say, well, this is just how I am gray A. So there's no reason for me to go further.
The general response to relationship is, well, we've been together, we've done this, we went out, we had a good time. And when I'm around him, I feel lightheaded, I'm kind of giddy, and they don't know what to call that. They call it, butterflies in my stomach. Yeah, little
tits. I call it.
Yes.
There's just something about her. Tits. That's a whole Burnham reference.
This whole spectrum stuff it's just a bunch of SJW hogwash to me, man.
We could be here forever trying to dissect this diagram. We haven't got to the One Piece shit yet.
Okay, let's try to get going. Here's Mark. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Hey, Eastern European flags aren't that lame. They do have a lot of weird little crests on them, I've noticed. But, I just buy the beer. Sometimes the flag's on the beer. That's as far as I go with my understanding of Europe. So, anyway, thank you, Mark. Let's go.
Or one lifestyle all asexual people follow. If you want to know more about different experiences of
people
as asexual, check out great podcast down below.
About me again.
Is this the shit that we saw a month ago and Whis was explaining to us all the colors and
why does this have more fucking lore than One Piece?
Frey sexuality.
Deeper lore than Tolkien, dude.
Wow. Okay, let's just keep going. This is insanity.
Yeah, no.
Anyways, it's impossible to actually say for sure that Luffy is asexual,
Oh my God,
but his
they put
lack
it
of
on the
sexual
Jolly
attraction as
Roger.
well as romantic attraction is refreshing in a media world that is usually oriented around romance and sex.
Wait, hold on a minute. So you just said that Luffy's asexuality is refreshing in a media world that centers or is oriented towards romance and sex. I think she's implying that most anime are oriented towards romance and sex, but I don't think that that's true. There are a bunch of anime.
No, this is Shonen Jump we're talking about.
Shonen Jump is
romance
not.
is like its own subgenre.
Well, I think that if you just look at anime like, I don't know, Psychopaths, Ghost in the Shell, Paranoia Agent, Steins Gate, like just to name a few, those aren't romance and sex anime. They're either sci-fi or psychological mysteries or comedies that the romantic aspect, let's say in Steins Gate, is at the very back of the series, that they save it for an OVA that isn't even a part of the main series.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. Hey, Smart, have you seen Psychopaths?
A while ago, yeah.
I love it. It's so good.
I only saw the first season.
I saw
I loved it.
Same here. The first season's all I needed to see. It was really good.
I think there's only 2 seasons, right?
Yeah,
They made a
seasons
third.
in the movie.
Wasn't the thought?
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did make a third.
Oh, cool.
There's a movie too.
Interesting. Like all the mangas that I'm reading, like they do have romantic elements, but they're not the genre or the classification of those stories are not romance. There are definitely comedies that use romance for comedy, and those are called rom-coms or whatever you want to call that, but they go hand in hand if the focus is comedy. It's not slapstick humor. It's not like lame jokes or puns. It's actual boy and girl trying to interact in a weird scenario, and they use romance a lot because the girl likes the guy likes the girl. They're too shy. They're not honest. Yada yada. That's the joy of learning about someone when you're immature.
Yeah, I mean, a classic series is School Rumble. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's basically a series about this delinquent guy who falls in love with this girl who is just this ditzy idiot who falls in love, and the girl is in love with this really quiet and mysterious guy who has no interest in her, but it's basically a love triangle about the guy chasing the girl and the girl chasing the guy she likes, and just the romantic mishaps that ensue, and a bunch of miscommunication and misunderstandings. And the guy gets a girl that he hates to fall in love with her, and then another girl, and it's just a lot of fun. And like I said, it goes it is a lot of slapstick comedy, but there is heavy focus on romance. But I mean, it isn't like they're all getting together or anything like that. It's all about how things go wrong rather than how things go right.
I heard romantic comedy anime and immediately thought of Toradora.
Yep.
Oh, I love Toradora.
It's good. So good, dude.
I only watched that this year, but yeah, it's good shit.
Yep.
I've seen it like 6 times.
It is good. Yeah, these are simple stories. They're not complicated, and they're very clear on what they're trying to be. I think that most anime that's successful, though, is very clear on what they're delivering to their audience, and that the audience is like, oh yeah, there shouldn't be any romance shit in here because we're killing ghosts and shooting people with superpowered guns and flying through the air. It's like, we don't need to have... There's always the joke in the comments sections of these mangas that's like, oh, I'm shipping this person. We found our new waifu. Here's our MILF of the day. It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. These are funny things and patterns that people notice because they've been reading manga and watching anime for so long that they can say, oh yeah, this reminds me of this. But a lot of people are like, no, shut up. Get this crap out of here. I want more of what we already got.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to pair characters, if you want romance, I mean, it's all fiction. So I mean, you can just take the character and, I don't know, make up some headcanon you want. It doesn't need to exist within the realm of the actual show.
Yeah, I see nothing wrong with having fun in your own head. It's when you explain things out. This is why Luffy is asexual. It's like, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Alrighty. JS. Hey, JS. Perfect. All the Chaos Space Marine Legions. What?
Okay.
That was what that was?
Here's why Jack the Ripper is asexual. We need more asexual representation in the serial killer community.
Yeah, Record of Ragnarok. Jack the Ripper is asexual because...
I just recently watched that. Actually, I had fun.
I didn't watch it. I'm still reading it, so I don't know. I heard the animation wasn't that good.
It was all right, but I heard Jack the Ripper, and I thought of Jack the Ripper from Fate Apocrypha, and I hear creatures on Twitter constantly say that she's non-binary because it doesn't exactly say, and there's like different souls in the body, and they use they them, and I'm just like, it's a lolly. Just look at the lolly.
Yeah, that's all
it's
it
a
is.
Murderer. Have fun.
Oh God.
Oh.
All right, one more. I'll get going. Bat Kid, the Jedi Bendu. Whoa. Classic trope of a main character that's oblivious, naive, or flat out confused by romantic attraction. Sometimes they are asexual, but they don't need to represent a sexuality. Thank you. You're right. They don't need to.
I agree.
They don't need to announce anything. In fact, so yeah, there's all these plots running around that this character needs to accomplish and achieve. He doesn't need to suddenly say, I don't like you because I'm trans or I'm gay or whatever. It's like, I don't like what?
It's just the idea of an asexual community, as if they all get together and go, hey, do you want to come over and not have sex? Do you want to come over and not talk about sex? We're gonna come out. Sex is not gonna be a topic. We're gonna be in a place and there will be no sexy things.
Yeah.
Like Luffy attends Asexual Anonymous.
Yeah.
got Goku in there too. It's like, hey, you wanna go hold hands in the park, Goku?
My name's Luffy.
Is that fighting? Are we fighting then? Yeah.
That's what he would say. You probably just beat the crap out of each other and then go for a slice of meat. Ooh,
Women are what is it? Women are friends, not sex.
Lesbians.
Yeah. Anyway, 1 minute in, we're doing well. No, we're not.
No, we are not.
Therefore, it's really hard to find asexual characters, let alone
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
We were just making a joke about that. Come on.
It's like every single character on every show is just fucking constantly.
Yeah, just put their heads on top of. Just put
Every
some
show
anime
is just an
characters' heads on top of
orgy.
there.
You know, I'll just put it on some fucking Powerpuff Girls. Oh, it's fucking orgy. Oh, typical.
Oh,
Typical.
Oh, I
Can't enjoy
drink to
anything.
forget that.
oh, right. You're talking about the new one. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let's not even cover that, man. Oh, jeez. But
Talk about
Yeah,
kicking
is
my
she-
childhood in the dick.
is she trying to say that Luffy is the same as like Todd from BoJack Horseman, who is like, very explicit about how he doesn't want to have sex with people, even though you could say that Todd in BoJack Horseman is just as stupid as Luffy, but then they go and say that it's because he's asexual. So I guess if you want to make a video about Todd, about how he's an asexual hero, I guess you could make the argument. Or actually, it's not even an argument; it's a fact. But with Luffy, it's not the same thing. It's just that he's aloof, stupid. He had a strange upbringing. He doesn't really have common sense, not a lot of it at least, and he just wants to do what he likes. He doesn't want to be tied down to anyone and anything. And there are actually characters in One Piece that are similar to him. Take Usopp's dad. He did marry. He had Usopp, but he left his wife and son to go on Shanks' ship to go on an adventure. So, I mean, he just did what he wanted to do.
Why does that make me
and
think
left.
of fucking Gon's dad in Hunter x Hunter?
Because it's basically the same thing.
I was like, huh.
It really is.
I mean, they just abandoned his
Wow,
family for adventure.
Usopp is literally just gone. What the fuck? What the fuck?
I mean,
Bruh.
his dad left
Bruh.
his sick wife.
Bruh.
But yeah, that's what One Piece is. It's all about looking for adventure, looking for the next thing. You know, it's not. You don't want to be tied down. You know, we want to seek adventure and follow our dreams. And if following your dreams involves finding a partner, then I mean, you know, some characters will do that. But I mean, for a pirate, that's not what it's about. You know, you got to go from place to place, keep going, keep looking for new and exciting things. And just because Luffy doesn't want to have a girlfriend or anything like that, that doesn't mean he's asexual. Like, he's not interested. In fact, Oda even confirms, like the author himself says, that Luffy is interested in women. It's just that he just doesn't make that a priority.
All right,
Too busy trying to find treasure.
Here is Strawman. Pico from Boku no Pico is the asexual hero we deserve.
Oh god, no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I don't know why we deserve them, but
Yeah, I don't know either.
Well, you know, in a way.
if Pico is asexual, I would hate to think what you think is actually sexual, Strawman.
Ugh.
Holy jeez. Anyway, Fritz.
Yeah.
The best way to get Goku to hold hands with his wife is to tell him that when he holds hands with someone, their skin is having a fast fight that we can't see. What?
Yeah, he gets a power up when he holds hands. There you go. Just tell him that.
He gets a Zenkai boost.
No, see, then he'll not do it because he doesn't want to be at full power, you know, because he wants to like chest himself and stuff. You know?
Right. No,
We'll save it for the last minute.
All right, let's see this wonderful thought play out about asexual people meeting. I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
Asexual main characters. So let's take a look at some evidence to see if the main character of One Piece, Luffy, falls on the asexual spectrum. First, let's take a look at Luffy's relationship with his two female crewmates. Nami and Robin are objects of sexual desire within the One Piece world, and outside of it too. It's rare for a chapter to go by without a mention of Nami and Robin's desirability. I mean, the sexualization of these two is a whole other video that needs to be made. Everybody has a reaction to Nami and Robin.
It really does.
Well, okay,
just watch the show.
I gotta, because I have a serious problem with people saying this about the female characters in One Piece. They are probably some of in Shonen I have seen best written female characters in and they have very large roles in the story, and actually most of them make up some of the most powerful positions in either the government or or some of the strongest pirates. And saying that, especially Nami and Robin, and just saying they're objects of sexual attraction is such a gross understatement of their characters as a whole. Like, Nami is a genius navigator who, it was an aspiring navigator from childhood who was orphaned by a war in her country, saved by a female Navy Marine that decided to quit her life as a government soldier and live out her life in her village to raise these two girls, Nami and her sister, and then Nami had her surrogate mother, which her name was Bellamere, that was the Marine soldier, killed by Arlong, and then she was forced to enlist in his pirate crew to save up money to buy back her village when she was a child, and then she risked her life to go on pirate ship to steal money from pirates, and she even made it a principle to only steal from those that deserve it. So even though she built up this deceptive personality, she was able to keep some part of her humanity despite all the horrible things that's happened to her, which is what causes the conflict between her and Luffy in the beginning, because she just thinks he's like all the rest. But yeah, Nami isn't just some object of sexual desire. Nami is someone who uses her feminine wiles to get what she wants most times. Like, I think in the early chapters she does that a whole lot. She does it to Sanji like many times in the beginning at the Baratier to get free food. She does it at Alabasta whenever they're peeking at her in the bath, and then she says, "Hey, if you want to look, I'll show you, but you gotta pay me like 100,000 berries," which is like the currency in One Piece, to get a look-see. So I mean, and even Robin has a similar backstory. Her whole island was devastated by what is the equivalent of a nuclear strike on her country, because some people knew how to read an ancient language. And then she ran from place to place, running from the government because she knew too much. She rose in the ranks of Crocodile's assassin army, Baroque Works, and was able to become one of the highest level officials. And then risked her life to give herself into the world government in order to keep her friends safe, which is a choice that is akin to death, because she knows way too much about the government's secrets. So I'm really just tired of people looking at Nami and Robin and seeing them only for their bodies when there's just so much more.
Like they're extremely fleshed out characters,
Yeah, it's super reductive just to look at them like that.
But I think like people take issue with like just the fact of like the designs or like the shape, like the literal shape. I mean, like, oh wow, I can't believe he drew them like that. I can't believe that. Look how thin their waists are and stuff, and it's like, bro, just take a step back, bro. Just chill, bro.
Yeah, I know, and she
like.
And before, where are her organs?
Bro,
don't even get me started.
Why can't I look like Frankie? Why can't I get that? Why can't I be built
exactly
like that, bro?
No, but I mean, it's like she says, rarely a chapter goes by without mentioning Nami and Robin's desirability. First off, that is just not true and disingenuous. And Nami is normally the one who is sexualizing herself. She's like, hey, you want to look at this? You got to pay up. You got to pay the piper. She, like, if you guys remember, like when she was going after Arlong, she tricked Zoro's friends, Johnny and Yasuku, into giving her the ship by saying, "Oh, I get so hot, I got to take off my clothes. Can you guys turn the other way?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll turn the other way." And then they want to take a peek, but then she pushes them off the boat and then steals.
Yeah,
and then steals.
And that's kind of like a recurring gag. It's kind of like a Johnny Bravo type thing where it's always like, "Oh, you perverts," So they're always reprimanded. They're always like, "Oh, you pervs, you perverts,"
And they get their stuff stolen.
Yeah, so it's always it's not like it's like she has agency and it's not like the guys like just get away with it and they're just like cool with it. Like she's both her and Robin will just
yeah
they'll be like, "Hey, stop it, stop it, stop."
And I think she said everyone has a reaction to Nami and Robin, including all of the male Straw Hats, which again, not true. In this very scene she's showing, Zoro wasn't peeking over the wall in the bath. Zoro could, like I said, Zoro could care less about a woman's body or women in general. Honestly, he just wants to, live a good life, train, drink booze, just get stronger and sleep and poop.
The greatest swordsman.
Yeah. He just wants to focus on his goal to become the greatest swordsman. And when he first met Nami, he didn't like her. He hated her because he thought she was just a thief and a liar, which she was. He could care less about her body, and that goes for every other female as well. And even in recent chapters, when Zoro had to sleep with, not had to, but Momonosuke's sister Hiyori wanted to heal Zoro's body and keep him from the cold. She decided to sleep with him, and when Zoro woke up, he didn't think anything of having a woman sleeping next to him. It was only Brooke who walked in on them that was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing, Zoro?" And it's like, "Oh, it's a girl next to me," or something like that. So I mean, there are men in the series that have a reaction, but to say that rarely chapters go by or every one of the male Straw Hats has a reaction is simply not true. Not even Frankie really cares that much about Nami and Robin, because I mean, he's like, what, 30 something, I think. So he's like, he just wants to tinker and mess around with the ship. So I mean, I don't understand why everyone just thinks that Nami and Robin and every other female character at that is just this object to be ogled at, and that's all they're good for in the series, and it's not true. And it makes me wonder if these people even watch the show.
They don't.
Okay, well, apparently it's her most loved anime, but she's seeing
it's just weird.
She's seeing it a lot differently than the rest of us. So yeah. Here's Fritz for the donation. I'm not sure how to read this, but go Pico. Yeah, go Pico. Oh, so thank you, Fritz.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to say that. JS, T800, the asexual hero we deserve. Really? The Terminator? Okay. All right. Fritz for the donation. You can tell that people who reduce Nami and Robin and any other female One Piece character to sex objects spent more time reading Entai Dojin than doing any actual research on the characters. You know what? I think they actually watch the show. They just don't.
It's just, yeah.
They just don't know how to understand it. Because, they're just drawing it for the male gaze or something like that. It's like, no, they're just drawing it for fun. It looks good.
Well, I mean, I would say to some extent, yes, they are, because this is a young boys magazine. Young boys want to look at sexy women. I'd say that's a part of it.
Like,
I mean, it's not the
Oda
only
just
part
doesn't
of
give a fuck. He's just like, I think it looks good.
Horny.
I want to see it.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like, God bless Oda, man.
A lot of these artists that are either well-known or have become famous because of their work, they just do the thing they're really good at, and they don't give a shit. And it doesn't matter if it's horror or even Jelly. Like, he didn't care. He's like, we got to do it my way.
Yeah, just look at the artist for Food Wars. I mean, he was like, I previously drew porn. I'm going to draw some sexy women in my manga. So, I mean, he's just doing what he's always been doing. He doesn't really care.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those guys out there that they don't have the same level of known or notability as the guy who did Food Wars, but they start off doing Dojin or doing something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They go transfer over to more mainstream stuff, And great, they get the work wherever they can get it. They want to keep drawing. They don't care. They just keep drawing, and they like doing it. And that's it.
Kota Hirano, the creator of Hellsing, he did doujins before he made Hellsing.
I mean, you can literally point to. You can make an entire list of manga artists that start there.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Nagatoro.
Yep. The person who did that did some out there doujins. I'll put it that way.
Yep.
Like it's out there, man.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
Straw Hat. And Luffy has had a reaction to Nami's body before, but in the show's 23-year run, this has only happened twice. But these scenes seemed so out of character for Luffy that Oda was actually flooded with questions. And instead of saying, yeah, Luffy finds Nami sexually attractive, Oda has a different answer. He says if you pay close attention, you'll realize that in both of these scenes, Usopp is with Luffy. And Usopp is Luffy's comedic partner in crime. And so the implication is that Luffy was just kind of going with the flow and imitating.
No.
See, she took that quote of Oda's out of context. Like I have the actual quote that he said here. Like someone asked him a question about Hancock's devil fruit and why the devil fruit didn't work on Luffy. If you remember, he was just unfazed by it. And Oda came up and said, he gets a lot of questions about it. He wonders why people pay attention to that stuff. But his answer to that was, he said, I noticed this when we were drawing it, but if Luffy had a nosebleed when he saw Hancock's body, I think you would all be like, that's not the Luffy we know. I believe that Luffy reacted to Nami's naked body twice in volumes 18 and 23, and both times it happened, Usopp was with him. He's the suspicious one. In other words, when Luffy is alone, his reaction is what it was with Hancock. He's interested. That's the part you got to pay attention to. He is interested, but he's not entranced. But when he's with Usopp, who's the same age, it's like a kid on a school trip. His bad side comes out. When both sides of Luffy feel right to me, both sides of Luffy feel right to me, so the culprit is definitely Usopp. So Luffy has an interest in a woman's body. It's just that when he's with Usopp, it's like, oh man, I'm having fun with my friend. But that doesn't diminish the fact that he's got some kind of reaction to it.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Not that we need an answer from God to tell us what's really happening. It's always nice to set the record straight if ever people had questions. I personally don't need the creator's response of why things happen the way they are or why they do. But if he's getting a lot of questions from fans, it's like, all right, fine. Why not? I'll answer the question. And it's not. It's not a big deal.
I'm with you. I was just saying that.
That's good because it's to us it's not a big deal, but to her she's getting it wrong because her interpretation is off.
On hand, by the way.
He's demisexual.
When he's with his friends, he gets hard. It's like no.
It's getting hard with the bros. I mean, can he even get hard? I mean, does
he's got ornament hockey?
What are the logistics of this?
All the blood transferring through those stretchy arms and legs. Yeah.
Wait, he has to he has to transfer the hockey to the.
Use some armament hockey on the dick.
What the fuck?
Does it mean he has a BBC though?
Dojin writers, take note. Write this down.
Oh my god.
His body has produced 10 times more blood instantly and then somehow consume it as soon as it retracts. Oh boy.
No, but I mean, I think Luffy likes the boobies.
Oh yeah. He just has a spleen the size of his heart. It's just this massive reservoir of blood. Just gotta get that blood stretched out there. Okay. Anyway, Mike Testa, whoever made me super chat Alice in Wonderland, thanks. Okay. I don't know. Thank you, Michael. I don't know what's going on there, but it's like there's another world in super chat and Michael that I don't ever have access to, and we always see bits and pieces, and we're like, what is happening? I'm always confused with Michael. But anyway, thank you, Mike. Let's keep going.
Usopp's reaction, and Oda clarifies that if Luffy had been alone, he wouldn't have reacted that way to Nami's body. Okay, but you could argue that maybe Luffy is just more respectful. Maybe he does have an interest in...
That would be a different situation, though, if it was just him and Nami alone. You know, that would be different, though.
Wait, what do you mean it would be different?
Because then it's like intimate. Because then it's like just like.
You mean because if Robert,
because it's not like open. Off? Do you know what I mean? Because it's not like it's not like in public. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Okay, all right.
Makes sense.
Because when it's in public, you're gonna be shocked. You're gonna be like, "Oh shit, damn tits."
Okay, Mike Testa. This is another hard one.
Oh boy.
Talk about an ace in the hole, or is there a hole in the ace?
Oh god!
You see,
god!
Oh
it's a
god.
pun
Oh god!
on
That's so
Ace's
bad.
death.
Oh god! No! Why?
Yeah, that's a little.
Why?
Smud, if you want context, Ace got a giant hole punched through his chest by a guy with lava powers.
Yeah, that
That's
was.
how he died.
Yeah, that was a few years ago. I think I didn't watch it, but I know what
That
you're
was a
talking
long time ago.
That's a long time ago.
about. Yeah. So Ace, as per the video, was asexual, and yeah, Mike, a few too many levels there, buddy. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Luffy is Ace. Ace is Luffy.
Taker 610. So is a sponge who isn't interested in budding a double asexual? Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
A sponge because they bud, like they produce by mitosis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they have to extend their. It's not even cytoplasm. What is it? It's a whole bunch of material. Double asexual. Oh god. Yeah. Anyway.
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Female body chooses to hide those emotions. Or maybe Nami and Robin are too much like family. So what about females who aren't a member of his crew? Let's talk about Boa Hancock. She's the captain of the Kusha Pirates and is one of the Shichibukai. She is a devil fruit user and possesses the powers of the Middle no Mi, which allows for a variety of attacks, but the one that's most commonly used is a power which turns people to stone. However, this power only works if the opponent is sexually attracted to the devil fruit user. And in the case of Boa Hancock, this is the majority of men, because she's considered the most beautiful woman in the world. However, the one man this attack does not work on is, of course, Luffy. Luffy is not affected by her powers at all, which proves that he's not just putting up a facade of disinterest, he is genuinely not interested. And ironically, the fact that her powers don't work on Luffy makes Hancock extremely interested in him. And she actually ends up with a major schoolgirl crush on him.
That's
this is
actually
actually a trend throughout the manga that Luffy tends to attract beautiful women around him. And I think this is because Luffy does not sexualize them.
No.
And he treats them as equal.
No. But there's a couple things there. First of all, Hancock did not fall in love with Luffy because he wasn't interested. If you look, the very scene she shows, Hancock is angry by the fact that her powers aren't working on him. She wants him to be interested so she can freeze him into stone. In fact, Hancock doesn't trust Luffy at first. And not because he doesn't sexualize her, it's because he's a man. You know, she's been enslaved by greedy and just disgusting men that she has this aversion to them now. And she even goes so far as to risk the lives of her own people. She's to get Luffy to reveal his true nature. She says, if you want a boat off my island, you can either have that or I can free my people that I turned to stone. You have to pick one. And then Luffy says, oh, that's great. So just free your people then. I'll find some other way to get the boat. To which Hancock is like, oh my goodness, you know, this person is selfless. And she still doesn't fully trust him yet, but she trusts him enough to show him the mark of the celestial dragons. It's like a slave mark to Luffy, which she wouldn't show anyone else. In fact, she's so ashamed of the mark that she hides it from her people. No one knows she was a former slave. And so when Luffy sees the mark, he's like, wait, I've seen that mark before. Oh yeah, it's from that guy I punched in the face. And then that's what makes Hancock interested, because he was brave enough to stand up to her enslavers, and now she falls in love with him. But then you have this whole thing where she's saying, well, yeah, he attracts powerful women because he doesn't sexualize them. Luffy liberates their countries. It's not because he doesn't find them attractive that they like him. It's because he, stopped their countries from falling into utter destruction whenever he visits. And these girls love all the Straw Hats, not just Luffy. They all helped. It wasn't just him.
It's team effort.
Yeah, they love Vivi is like really close friends with Nami. Rebecca from Dressrosa only really knows Luffy because they met in the Coliseum, and she never met any of those Straw Hats. Shirahoshi, the girl on screen, she likes Luffy, but not like romantically, and she's not attracted to just him. She loves all the Straw Hats because, again, they all helped liberate their countries from a tyrannical rule. It's kind of like an ongoing trend on One Piece. They just go places and help people.
All right. Let's keep going.
To men. In the beginning of Luffy and the crew's adventure in the Grand Line, they form an alliance with a beautiful princess called Vivi, and there's a very powerful scene where Luffy actually hits her. Luffy and Vivi get into a heated argument, and actually Vivi's the first one to strike, but Luffy just hits her right back. Because it doesn't matter that she's a princess or that she's a woman. He tells her that they're Nakamano, and this moment really solidifies their friendship. A thing to note, I understand that the argument I'm making makes it sound as though people who are asexual are inherently not sexist. And, well, this is definitely not the case. You can
Wait. People who are asexual are not sexist?
Well, I think at this point, I think she's trying to say she knows not it might sound like, she says it might sound like she's implying that she's going to say that, but that's not what she's trying to say. I have one thing to say about the whole, women trust Luffy more, though, because he treats them as equals, like Luffy punching her in the face. Luffy isn't the only one who's willing to hit a woman. Usopp and Zoro, they've also fought women and, have, one of which blew one up. Zoro nearly kills one of Doflamingo's family members, Monet, at Punk Hazard. He slices her in half with a big grin on her face. And he's like, "Oh, you underestimated me, Snow Woman, and when you thought you couldn't beat me, you should have run." He just slices her in half. So, Zoro's all about that gender equality life. And so is Usopp, and so is Frankie. They've all fought women, and they've all hit them. They don't care.
Chopper fought a woman before?
Well, yeah, because Chopper fought with Usopp when they were fighting Mrs. Merry Christmas and Mr. I can't remember which number he was. But, Zoro's whole thing is that he hates it. He hates it if people use their sex as an excuse as to why they're not that strong. Zoro's thing as a child was that when his childhood friend Kuina, her father wouldn't allow her to run the dojo because he says women aren't as strong as men. But Kuina is the top of her class. She beat all the boys, including Zoro, in a fight. And during their last fight before she died, Zoro is insulted by the fact that she would use the fact that she's a woman as an excuse as to why he lost. He said, "Are you going to use that same excuse when I finally beat you? It's not just because I'm a man that I won. I put in the work. I put in all this hard training. Don't use your sex as an excuse." So Zoro doesn't give a shit about that either. He's very much about, treating women with the same amount of respect or disrespect as any man. It's his whole relationship with Tashigi. Tashigi thinks that Zoro won't go all out on her because she's a woman. It's why she has so much disdain for him. But Zoro's just like, "No, you're just weak, and I have no reason to kill you. Not because you're a woman." So it's and in the case of Usopp, yeah, it's just that if he ever gets into a situation where he needs to fight a woman, he'll do it. He fought, one of his major battles is Mrs. Merry Christmas and Perona from Thriller Bark. So, I think all the Straw Hats are willing to do what they need to, regardless of who they're fighting.
Aside from Sanji, I believe.
Yeah.
Sanji, like we established,
it doesn't. want anything to do with hurting women or anything. He's just like, no, not a woman.
Well, when he was a kid, he was like, when he was talking to Chef Zeph, he was wondering, hey, why don't we ever hire women? And Chef Zeph is like, I teach people through kicking them. I can't do that with a woman. And Sanji's like, well, I don't know. If the woman doesn't learn, why don't you just kick her? And then Chef Zeph beats him up and says, hey, you can't do that to a woman. You know, he tries to teach Sanji good life skills.
The lesson here from One Piece is beat women. That's the lesson. That's the moral of the story. Your Honor, Your Honor, Sanji... I wasn't beating my wife. We were simply having a fight on equal terms. I mean, she may be 2 feet shorter than me.
Yeah,
but I'm just treating her as an equal. I'm just respecting her.
If anything, Sanji respects women more than any other man in the world. I mean, he was taught by Zeph at a young age that men mustn't kick women. Is that that's common sense from back when the dinosaurs were still around. And then he says, you can make as many mistakes as you need as a human, but if you betray the honor of manhood, I'll cut off your manhood and at its roots and then cut off my own head as well. So Sanji learned from Chef Zeph that you shouldn't beat a woman. He's been following that creed for his entire life and he's never broken it. So, I mean, it's not. I think that and Luffy has even displayed cases where he doesn't respect women, like Shirahoshi, the big mermaid girl before. You know, when he first met her, he thought she was a fucking crybaby and just said, "Hey, I'm going to call you Crybaby Hoshi," you know, because her name is Shirahoshi, and he had no respect for her. And then he upgraded her to Weak Hoshi after he found out that she was dedicated to fulfilling her late mother's wish. But even then, Luffy never really showed any proper levels of respect to Shirahoshi because she's a woman. So with Luffy, you need to earn his respect. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, and that goes for everyone else in the Straw Hat crew too. So I mean, Luffy just doesn't go around treating everyone with respect. Just because he doesn't sexualize them doesn't mean he therefore respects them.
All right, here's Mike Testa. Here's a 2-part super chat joke. What is Ace's favorite item? It is a lava lamp.
Oh, that's funny. This is hilarious. That actually doesn't even fit Ace. That's more Akainu. Because he has the lava powers.
Good stuff, Mike. Okay, Fran Mataraki, we keep on going. A little unrelated, but I watched Overly Cautious Hero, and Seiya also believes in equal rights and equal lefts. Yes.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
A little obsessive with preparing.
Yeah.
I kind of like it because it reminds me of if Batman was in an anime or a manga, rather.
There is a Batman and the Justice League manga. It's actually pretty good.
Really?
Oh, yeah, there is.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Wow. I got to check that out. But yeah, no, Overly Cautious Hero.
Yeah, they got it.
Good ending. I like that story. Good ending, too.
Oh, yeah, nice twist.
Yeah. Finally. Because before it was just a comedy, and then it just went, oh, serious.
It went full dark, yeah.
Always nice to see those twists that actually have value. Usually twists are stupid, but that was a good one. So, all right.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, it was good. Okay, keep going.
Have very sexual people who respect gender equality, and you can also have asexual people who are misogynistic pricks. Rather, the argument I'm trying to make is more along the lines of it's easier to gain someone's trust if it's clear that you have no ulterior motive. Let's pretend for a second that Sanji was the main character of One Piece.
No.
If he had suggested an alliance with Vivi, even if he were being very professional, Vivi might have doubted his motives, and throughout their alliance, in the back of her mind, she might be thinking, he probably just wants to sleep with me. In the case of asexual
that's not
Luffy,
true.
the female characters know that there is no alternative.
That's not true.
He's not just... No, he's a
Hold
gentleman.
on.
Okay, he's a gentleman.
Yeah, I mean, in either case, the point is moot because it's not even Luffy that suggests the alliance. It's not even really an alliance. Nami is the one who says, "Hey, let's make a contract." And she wears her ulterior motives on her sleeve. She just wants Vivi's money. She's like, "You're a princess? Hey, why don't you hire us? We'll help liberate your country. You just gotta give up the berries." Nami is the one who's like, hey, I got something I want. You got something you want from us. Why don't we make a trade? So I mean, if anything, you should be bringing up Nami, who is always doing stuff like that. She's always working in her own interest. She just wants cash. That's her whole character. That's why they call her the cat thief. That's why that's on her wanted posters. They all have their own well, not all of them, but some of them have their own nicknames. And Nami is the cat thief because that's just who she is. She steals and swindles people, and that's how that's how she operates. And also, when Sanji is willing to take on an entire assassin or bounty hunter organization and one of the most fearsome pirates in the world, a warlord of the sea, just because he wants to help her out, I think at that point anybody would be like, I can trust this guy.
For sure.
I don't think they see Sanji as a guy who just wants to sleep with them. That's kind of weird, though.
No, Sanji is like one of the most gentlemanly people you will ever meet. He's a bit eccentric, but he would never mistreat a woman or trick them or want only do something for them if he has something or he gets something out of it. They make it a point to say that Sanji will help a woman just because he asked them to. There is a scene in Dressrosa where he meets a woman named Viola, who tricks him into a warehouse where her goons beat her up, and then she beats him up too. But even though she did all that terrible stuff to him, Sanji still says, I know you have a beautiful heart, because I don't care if everyone in the world accuses you. I believe in a woman's tears, because she came to him crying, and he thought, this woman is telling the truth. I know it. There's no way this woman is a bad person, and I'm going to help her no matter what. So again, oversimplification of Sanji's character. He's a bit of a pervert, but that's only played for jokes. Sanji would never do something like only help someone to get him to sleep with him.
Sanji's a good boy. He didn't do nothing.
He a good kid.
Here's Fritz. Sanji's the kind of guy that'll want to take a girl out and get married after 5 years of dating before giving her a dozen kids to rival the kids from the Baker by the Dozen movie. Oh, isn't that nice?
Yes, Sanji would do that.
Keep her by the dozen.
All right.
Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah.
Motive. And story, Luffy continues to make strong female allies, and this is said to be one of his strongest traits as a character. He may not be as strong as some of the other pirates out there, but he has the ability to make allies everywhere. So it seems that Luffy is not only asexual, but that his sexuality or lack thereof serves him well, whether in obvious situations like immune to Hancock's.
What is
that? Makes
what?
No
What?
sense.
He makes allies, all kinds of allies.
Because he has no sexual drive.
Most of them being men.
Yeah, he's just got he's got a personality that is people like, and he's a good boy mostly.
Yeah, after the Dressrosa arc, he gets a whole armada of people, and they're all men. It's just all these guys with their own fleets, and then it becomes the Straw Hat fleet, because they all love Luffy and how cool and heroic he is, and they all fell for his charisma. So I mean, yeah, there was no women in that alliance that was formed with Luffy, and
it's not, he just has charisma,
Yes,
he's just a likable guy.
Yeah. Here's Taker 610. Surely meat sexual is a thing. That is Luffy. Okay.
That is definitely, it's Luffy and Goku. They define that sexuality.
Absolutely.
And Toriko.
Attacks, or in more subtle situations where he is more likely to gain the favor of strong women because he's not sexually interested in them. This is a refreshing take on asexuality because it's rarely portrayed as a positive attribute. Asexuality tends to be generalized into a stereotype in which the character is not only devoid of sexual feeling, but also feelings in general. Let's compare Luffy to another famous asexual character, Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock's sexuality has been a point of debate for many years.
I've never seen Sherlock.
Okay, so with Sherlock, he is a machine. He is a thinking machine. He has the capacity to charm and arouse and do things like that, but he doesn't care. He mentally does not care. That's not
just baffled.
It's not to say he's not a man, but to say he's asexual is pushing it. It's depicted that his body is nothing but a mind, and he sees it as an appendix. That's how he describes himself. So there are scenes where he's saving women and protecting women. There's a scene where early on in the canon where I believe John finds Mary, or he finds the wife. There's two women involved. John is holding the hand of one of those women, and Sherlock is with the other. And he makes no advances. He doesn't. But it's not a romantic scenario. It's just he's saving them from danger, and that's it. He just says, "Thank you, be on your way," yada yada. So he just doesn't care in general, not specifically women. He's purely about doing things as a puzzle. Everything's a puzzle to him. So if he wanted to marry someone, he could probably do that. But that's not Sherlock. Sherlock's all about the puzzle. So to say he's not interested is true because he makes no advances, but the story is not about him and his romance. It's him being a detective and being the best detective there is. So
how do you watch Sherlock and go, but how does this represent asexuality?
Well, there is a show. There is the BBC version where they have an episode where I can't remember the name of it because they're taking that part of the book and doing their own thing. And he was acting like a boyfriend and proposing to this woman. And he did it in such a way so he can get access to this place she worked. And he wanted to surprise her. So he did all these things to get around the security and yada, yada. And he was doing that to protect her because she was in danger. And he said that at the end, I just did that all to save your life, yada, yada. And that was fine. Because there was a scene where she was like, well, were you serious or were you joking? And he was like, no, I was just doing it to save you. So he's not bereft of the emotion. He just doesn't pursue it. He's not interested. Unless he's lying to himself. I don't know. Or just he's so good at acting because he's a sociopath. That's another take because he keeps saying he's a well-functioning sociopath. Because he could put on an act and dress up and all this stuff, but it's not. I'm not
convinced.
I still wouldn't call it asexual. No, I still wouldn't do that.
Like that's just him being emotionless. That's not asexuality. That's
right.
Just
but it's not. It's not. I don't think the creators of the show even think enough in their day-to-day life about the concept of asexuality to even have stereotypes about what are asexual people like. Like nobody is thinking in their day-to-day life, asexual people be like.
Yeah.
No,
it's the same.
Nobody's thinking about this.
It's the same with a lot of the detective archetypes because they're just thinking machines. So sex, emotions, relationships, those are all not even maybe tertiary. Like with Poirot, in one of his flashbacks stories, he nearly gets engaged to a woman, and he loves each other. But that was like the one case he never solved. I think it was called the chocolate box or something like that. But after that, he was just focused on his work. So he never really. Actually, no, he did have a relationship with a thief, but it wasn't a sexual one because again, they're professional. He's a gentleman. But it's not out of the cards for him. So it's just like he even says in some of his books, "Oh, I've missed a lot of happiness in my life as a result of being Poirot." So he refers to himself in the third person because he can't properly understand why he has these gifts and they come from God and yada yada. He's very religious. So, but you still wouldn't call him asexual. That's silly. Anyway, John Doe, the Average Joe, thank you. Shonen protagonist eating contest, who will win? Definitely.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, definitely not the guys from Food Wars. They get stuffed on like a mouthful of anything. eating competitions.
I would say Luffy. I mean, because he can just get fat and immediately subtract all that.
Yeah.
Or Naruto.
No.
Do the choke ones.
The problem with Naruto is anything that happens to one body, he feels, so he get full up pretty quickly.
Do you know who'd be really good though in an eating competition? Fucking Bruno from JoJo. Like with his fucking zip bars, you know, just have like a zip like in your stomach. It's basically like the same concept, like from that one conversation that Badger had in Breaking Bad about that Star Trek episode idea, where they were having you know what I'm talking about, where they had this conversation about they have an eating competition on the Enterprise, and they use the transporter thing to transport the stuff out of the stomach, transport the food out of the stomach, and then he accidentally transports his stomach out, and then it's in space, and then it's like that, but with the zip.
I can see the zip working, yeah.
Yeah, but with the Shadow Clones, it's more along the lines of experience that it comes back to Naruto. If it's like pain, he doesn't really feel it at all. They just poof.
Yeah, Naruto doesn't receive the same pain or feelings. It's just that with it's like with what he said. It's like if Naruto knows something, they know something too.
And then that's how he trained to learn the Rasen Shuriken super fast. He made a bunch of clones to basically.
It makes me think about the logistics though, because like, what happens to food that's been like eaten by a shadow clone? Like, does it like what happens to it?
You think it would just pop up?
I guess.
Like pop up when it's gone.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, does it actually disappear with the shadow clones, or does it just like appear where it is and just like fall to the floor? I mean, presumably that wouldn't happen because they wouldn't draw that. But like theoretically, how does that disappear? I mean, it makes sense for the shadow clones to disappear because they're like made of like chakra and stuff. But like,
yeah.
Why would
maybe
the food disappear?
Maybe the food just converted to chakra.
Maybe.
Bruh.
Yeah, think about that.
that sounds like a fucking hack. That sounds like that sounds like a hack to get more chakra.
Yeah, they get more power than what they eat.
He just has like all that shadow clones you see, but then there's shadow clones in the back that are just eating.
Well, he does that with
gotta fill up.
He does that with Sage Chakra, where he'll have the Sage, the clones gathering Sage Chakra, and then he releases the jutsu, the Sage Chakra goes back to the original Naruto. That's what he did in effect with Pain.
Oh right, yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah, as I would go with my thing, you know, just it all goes to chakra, you know, because I mean that's the only way it makes sense.
Yeah, that's the best.
I mean, I suppose Choji kind of does that, like with food to chakra.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does.
He
does.
He has food pills, right? So he just munches on those, pops them, and boom.
Yeah, but later on in Shippuden, he learns how to use the technique without the pills.
Did he?
Yeah, in the war when he fought Asuma, when Asuma is resurrected, he basically uses that technique.
Oh, I don't remember that, but it's been so long.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm a repository of useless Naruto knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, here is Matt the Beast. Thanks for the 5. Okay, that last statement has placed this person firmly on the personality equals sexuality thought train, and I care even less than the not at all I did before about anything they have to say about characters and analyzing them. It's not the same dag nabbit. Yeah, I remember like some bad episodes of the BBC thing. There's a scene where Sherlock is like getting drunk with John, and I'm not sure why. I think it was a birthday or something. They just did it for fun. So it's something that Sherlock would almost never do. Like he does drink beer, he does drink other things. So he has vices. He does do cocaine, you know. So he's not like some machine. He's not some strict thinking machine, but he does do other human things like things he likes. So smoking, cocaine, booze, food, etc. Anyway, he does have emotions, yes. Mike Testa. What's the lava guy's name, please? That would be too easy. P.S. That would be too easy.
It's Akainu.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's. We're halfway done. Look at that. Let's keep going.
In the most recent BB adaptation, the producer of the show, Stephen Moffat, and the actor of Sherlock, Benedict Cumberbatch, have both stated that in this version, Sherlock is asexual. And it's great that such an iconic character is explicitly being portrayed as asexual. But Sherlock is also a self-described high-functioning sociopath.
Dude.
He's not only uninterested in sexual relationships, but kind of relationships in general. And even
This is worse than fucking vegans. At least vegans make sense. Like that's actually that's actually noteworthy. Oh, you don't actually eat meat. Oh, that's actually an interesting thing.
Yeah.
That's unusual. This is like, oh my god, who the fuck? Nobody cares that you don't have sex. We don't need to know about the lack of sex drive.
Yeah,
Why are you going to parties and be like, you know what? Did you know that I'm not interested in sex? Just so you know, it's really important that you know.
I don't go around bragging about my lack of sex.
Well, she just said.
Well, I wouldn't want to make people feel bad.
That's true.
Having too much sex, not being on my level,
Well, she's saying that they say he doesn't have interest in relationships or emotions in general. Like, you're right. So you're talking something beyond asexuality, if that's what you're describing. So, but we know he has emotions. We know he gets excited. We know he gets bored. So he's not he's not just a thinking machine. He's still a human. He just exercises his mentality more than the average person, and that's how his personality reacts to anything else. He's like, "Oh, this is stupid. This is useless. You're an idiot. I can hear you thinking," like all this other crap, because it's so distracting because he thinks so many things. So it's something. I think Sherlock, the personality and lifestyle of Sherlock's a bit beyond the concept of asexuality. It's further than that. But to say he doesn't have emotions or human relationships, no. He does have them. As unhealthy as they might be, he does have a best friend. He does have a brother he cares about. So he does his not his tenant, but the super. I don't know what you call her name. The person who delivers his food, who takes care of the house and pays rent to. So he does have relationships. He has relationships, professional relationships, all kinds, with Lestrade, with the Baker Street Irregulars. So are they emotional relationships? Kind of. Not with John, I would say they are. He cares about John. So, but I don't know. It's just this weird, why they're bringing up sexuality, I don't know. That's odd. Here's Mike Testa again. Akanu's favorite item is the movie Ace in the Hole. Thank you. Thank you. Mike. Okay, now you're getting
poor taste.
Yeah, you're getting redundant there.
What's a One Piece fan's favorite card in the deck? The Ace of Spades.
There you go.
The Ace of Spades, because you're burying him. He's buried with a spade because you have to bury because he's dead. He's
just
dead.
Let Ace die. Just let him die, please.
Leave the man's corpse be.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's already dead.
He's already dead.
All right.
And even for the few relationships that he is invested in, he's often quite awkward. Similar to Luffy, Sherlock actually has a moment in which his asexuality is seen as an asset. In the first episode of Season 2, Sherlock is being manipulated by a woman called Irene Adler. She's a dominatrix and she tries to use her sexuality to take advantage of Sherlock in their mind game. And for a second we think maybe Sherlock is affected by her. But in the end he reveals that she is actually the one that ended up catching feels, which is what caused her to slip up and lose the game at the very end. So this is a demonstration of how asexuality serves Sherlock. But it's also a pretty cold moment.
I imagine John Watson thinks love's a mystery to me, but the chemistry is incredibly simple and very distractive.
For Sherlock, sexuality is something that gets in the way of logic. And a similar case can be made for a character like Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. But Luffy doesn't conform to this stereotype. First of all, he definitely can't be described as the most logical person. And he's certainly not devoid of emotion. He's impulsive, and most of the time his actions are guided by his emotions. Luffy is also pretty good in social situations. Although he may lack some manners, he's never awkward around people, and uses his charisma to quickly win people over. He's also physically and verbally affectionate, which is a trait you won't find in the stereotypical asexual.
Again, there is no stereotype. There is no fucking because nobody fucking talks about this shit. Like, what do you fucking mean? The stereotype. What fucking stereotype?
I think she went from...
Well, you see...
Yeah, the extreme example of Sherlock being this emotionless machine, even though he does have some emotions, to Luffy, who's just a goofball at times. So...
Well, you see, this person says that Luffy's asexuality is an asset, and it's come to help him in most scenarios, but that isn't even... Like, first of all, I refuse to acknowledge the fact that Luffy is somehow asexual. I'm just saying that him being aloof and a bit ridiculous and not socially awkward, but socially unaware of of what he's doing, that isn't an asset to him. So, and there are a few examples of this. Take Hancock again, for example. When she first meets Luffy, she literally suspects ulterior motive upon their first meeting. Robin keeps her distance from the Straw Hats throughout the entirety of Skypiea and Water 7, and actually all the way through Water 7 and Enies Lobby arc. And I loved how they handled the character, because she would always refer to them by surface level characteristics and features.
Like
Usopp would be Longnose, Nami, Miss Navigator, Chopper, Doctor, Zoro, Swordsman, and Luffy Captain, Sanji, Cook. She only started using their actual names after they rescued her from Cypher Pole 9 at Enies Lobby, and that kind of signified her underlying trust for them. I think she is pushing the narrative that it's just because Luffy doesn't sexualize female characters that somehow this is a trait that helps him gain their trust. But she's kind of looking past some of the female characters that are that fool some of the male characters as well. I mean, take Pudding and Sanji. Like, I mean, Sanji was all just willing to give himself to Pudding, and then she betrays him. Despite Sanji respecting Pudding in all manners that you could respect a woman, like he would just. He was all over the girl, willing to bring her flowers and make her dinner and just be the most romantic, guy you could ever meet. And then in the end, she revealed that she was going to murder his entire family and shoot him straight in the face. So not sexualizing these girls isn't the key to earning their trust. And it's such an oversimplification of how the Straw Hats go about earning the trust of all the people in the world. It's because they're different from your average pirate. They're the good guys. They're the heroes. They're willing to help you just because you asked. Sometimes it's like, you gotta like make me feel like, you actually deserve the help.
Yeah, I think the difference is like they won't be like, no, we won't take the reward because we're just so good. No, they'll be like, okay, yeah, we'll take the reward.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
Actually, Nami is normally the one to say she wants to take the reward.
Yeah. She's the
Luffy.
Well, Nami's sort of the sensible one in that regard. I think Nami's sort of the of sensible, like, no. We gotta get some moolah. Gotta get some money. Some berries.
I mean, Nami. Luffy refused the reward at Fishman Island because he was like, I don't want to be a hero. That's not what pirates are. They're not heroes. So I'm not going to take your reward.
I'm just doing it for shits and giggles.
Yeah, I did it because I wanted to, not because I'm a hero. Like, screw your gold. I don't want it. So I'm not a hero. So
yeah, he just wanted to do what he wants to be free. Is one of the
that's what Luffy. That's the king of the pirates for Luffy. The king of the pirates to Luffy is the one who is the most free.
I wish we were actually looking at terms or actual psychological states that this person might be aware of in regards to these character studies of Luffy or Sherlock that would make more sense. Like she mentioned, was it sociopaths? And that goes a whole spectrum of sociopathy or antisocial disorders or even psychopathy. So there's all these ranges of states we can use as determined by the APA. That makes sense, not asexuality. And asexuality could mean whatever the hell it means this year to these people. So I'm a little concerned with what she's trying to drive at, because he seems to be like he's a guy. He has sadness, he has happiness, he has all these ranges of emotions. It's a big theme of friendship. There's a huge theme of having comrades and being friends and protecting your friends and saving them.
Yeah, and One Piece does sometimes explore these like stuff like psychological trauma with its characters. I mean, there's a specific one that came to mind that was just such a great story from one of the members of the Revolutionary Army who was a child when she met these group of pirate fishermen, and they took her on board their ship, and she would always clean up after them, even though they said she didn't have to, and she would always expect them to hit her, and she was always smiling because the celestial dragons would hit her if she would ever show disdain or sadness as to her predicament. It was only until the leader of the pirates, this fishman named Fisher Tiger, said, just let it out. No one's going to hurt you. You can cry. And her smile turned into a frown, and she just started crying her heart out. And there's just this whole story of this little girl who was suffering from Stockholm syndrome, and this past trauma of being a slave. And it was just such a heartwarming tale.
All right, here is Zero. Hey, thank you. How does the group think One Piece will end? Oh, God.
Who can say, man?
I have one theory, which is I do think I think it's like the red line, or like the ground line will be broken, and you'll end up with like a unified ocean. So basically all of the big mountains that are dividing the ocean will just be destroyed at some point.
I don't know about that.
Will be destroyed, and then it'll just be all of the oceans will mix.
I don't know if that's going to happen, because because the Grand Line is like this, or even the New World are these dangerous places, and I think that separating them is what's keeping places like the East Blue, which is one of the most peaceful seas in One Piece, safe from all the big sea monsters and dangerous creatures of the deep, like the Sea Kings. So I think that if anything, it'll be more of a breaking down of the government, because they're definitely going to fight the world government at some point.
I think something's going to happen to, what do you call it, Marijoa or something. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I think something's going to happen there, and it's going to be either the whole place will just be destroyed.
Well, they're already doing something with they're showing what's going on with the Five Elders, and something's happened to Sabo and Vivi, and so yeah, something's going down in Marijoa right now, and who knows? Luffy might lose another brother.
Well, I don't know. I think this is one of those cases. This is one of those cases of Kentaro Miura. He's going to keep going until he dies. He's just going to keep writing it and keep writing it. Thankfully,
no, I think he has a plan. I think he has a plan.
Really?
I think he's a man with a plan.
Really?
Yeah, because he often, because Eiichiro Oda said that there's around 5 or 6 years left of One Piece, and then he's going to end it.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, great. Okay.
He has a plan.
I believe he's a man with a plan.
But he has a really awful work schedule, and he does get sick often, so I'm just please stay in good health.
And so the only other thing is that I think One Piece is it's supposed to be funny. I think it's supposed to be like a punchline kind of thing.
Oh, you think that? Well, no. Well, a fan actually asked him about that before. He said, "Is the treasure going to be something like the power of friendship or something?"
No. I don't think that. But I think
Okay.
it's going to be something else that is still going to be kind of funny. Like it's still going to be kind of like, haha.
Yeah, actually, that might be because in a recent episode, and actually in one of the chapters in Wano, it's like Roger. They show like Roger's backstory and stuff like that, and how he made it to Raftel.
Yeah.
And he said when Roger took a look at the One Piece, all the crew could do was laugh.
It's just a massive dong. It's just a magnum dong.
Picture of dick butt. No.
Yeah, but who knows? Who knows?
Luffy, he's definitely gonna become the Pirate King. Like that's just how these stories work. But Smud, you brought up Mira, and that made me immediately sad again.
Oh, sorry.
Because I freaking love. I love Berserk.
It's a little different.
I have a Brenda.
Yeah.
I have a Brenda Sacrifice tattoo. I love Berserk so much.
It's a little different the way that Berserk was produced or written rather, and when it was written, as opposed to One Piece, which is I think it's way bigger than Berserk in terms of content, in terms of length, but
chapter
the number of chapters.
Yeah. They're at
it's actually not the longest.
2016.
There's chapters. I think like Hajime no Ippo has more.
Detective
chapters.
Conan.
Yeah, I was about to say Conan.
But like he puts a lot of effort into it, whereas Berserk it just wasn't as the release schedule was not as efficient as One Piece or these other shonen mangas. So I don't know. So long as he has a plan, he sticks to it, I'm impressed.
I'm assuming there's going to be like a proper like big fight with Zoro and Mihawk. I'm assuming.
I'm hoping to see a big fight between Luffy and Shanks because Shanks has something going on.
Well, if he was like the final boss, or whether there would be something even like after.
Because I mean, think about it. We've never seen Shanks do anything.
We seen him at the very, very start, and then we see him just sort of read the newspaper.
And then he's at Marineford, and he stops the war, but he doesn't really do anything there.
And he talks with Whitebeard.
Yeah, Whitebeard's already dead at that point. You mean the first meeting with Whitebeard?
Yeah, when they're drinking with each other and having.
Okay.
I don't really know. We don't really know anything about like what is Shanks's like abilities or.
All we know,
does he have a devil fruit, or
all we know right now is Shanks is really powerful and he has some kind of connection to the Five Elders.
Yeah,
because he met with them recently.
All right. Well, lots to speculate about, but I can't even tell you. There's too much content to. I don't know. I don't think there's an actual main plot. It's just a bunch of adventures. So, yeah, couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Here's Mike Testa. Can I have these fine gentlemen's avatars for meme? If anyone can do that on the Discord, there's an actual function. I can't remember the name of it, but we have it written out. Asculeta, or one of the mods at least. Maybe Mateus is around.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it, but if someone can tell me.
Well, I saw you let it do it. So for myself, so it's the same function call for anyone's avatar. Anyway, let's keep going. Almost done.
Character. Now, you might be thinking, actually, I think I know another character like this. A friendly and outgoing guy who's not really interested in sex and romance. It shouldn't be too surprising that Goku and Luffy are very similar. Oda has explicitly stated Dragon Ball as a huge inspiration for One Piece. I mean, probably huge inspiration for the majority of shonen manga today. So if you think back carefully, you'll recognize that Goku has very similar traits to Luffy, and probably could be categorized as asexual. But interestingly, despite his complete lack of interest in sex or romance, Goku ends up married and has children. So Goku and his future wife Chi-Chi meet when they are 12 years old. They have a number of encounters where Goku ends up saving her life. Chi-Chi falls for him and asks him to marry her when they are adults. And Goku kinda just agrees without really understanding what that means. They reunite again 5 years later, and actually Goku doesn't even recognize her, but he eventually remembers her from his childhood, and she reminds him of the promise that he made. And Goku agrees to marry her, not necessarily because he loves her, he actually still doesn't understand what that means. But he marries her really because he just wants to keep his promise. They get married, and even throughout the wedding ceremony, you can tell that Goku's uncomfortable with all of the physical contact. But he decides that he's going to try his best to be a good...
Uncomfortable? I mean, kind of.
So
I mean, it seems like he's kind of blushing there. It seems like he's kind of into it.
But
he was blushing when she gave him a peck on the cheek earlier, too.
So, because he had sex in a family, therefore he's not asexual?
Yeah, wait, I thought he's just not aromantic. Right?
Yeah, like he doesn't
wait,
understand...
is he aromantic?
Yeah, romance...
wait, that means he is.
Yeah, romance
right?
implies you understand the social cues of coupling, of courting, of flirting, all that stuff. Whereas sexuality is actual drive for sex, the desire, the emotional and physiological aspect of it. So in this case, he has no asexual desire, but yet he has sex, but he's really dumb. So I think it's just he's dumb. Isn't that just the easier answer?
He's really just too stupid to understand it.
Yes, he's dumb at all these things.
I can't even imagine Goku having sex, or consciously at least. It's like I feel like Chi-Chi would do more of the work.
He would either see it as a competition, or he would just not know what the hell he's doing, and Chi-Chi would do all the work. You're right, yeah. This is a non-issue in the entire story.
I know. Imagine like us talking about Goku, how he has sex.
It's that's I don't know. Who cares?
Also,
like a lot of sorry, go ahead.
While we were talking about predictions, or whatever, for One Piece, I was going to say another thing actually. I think Usopp is going to die. I think at the very very end, Usopp is going to die, and that I know it will be like a really brave thing that he does. I know that will be the end of his arc of like
imagine
he wants to be a brave warrior of the sea or whatever, and that will be the end of his arc. He'll make a really brave sacrifice, and then he'll die.
I can see that, and it's like then the newspaper arrives at Kaya's place at his village, and she like just breaks down crying.
Luffy will just snap in rage.
I just think it would be pretty cool. I just think it'd be a pretty cool ending.
That would
as long as it's at the very, very end. It would have to be like the very last, like 10 or so chapters, or even like probably not the last chapter, because there'll probably be like epilogues stuff.
Yeah,
but it would be very satisfying if that happened. As long as it's like close to the end, obviously.
That'd be cool. I
think I think I'd be annoyed if none of the actual main like crew died. Like if none of them died, it would feel a bit like.
What if Luffy died?
That'd be a plot twist.
I think no. I think that would be a bit. That would be a bit like no.
Like One Piece 2, One Piece Next Generation.
I disagree. No. God, no! Please
1.5 piece.
No. I don't want any fucking spin-offs or any of that shit. I don't want any fucking. We're gonna do like a 10 years later thing with some different characters. No.
Oh, I just figured the best title would be 1 piece and a half, like Ranma and a half.
It's like this time the main character is like Luffy. It's like Luffy's daughter. So it's kind of like a gender bend thing.
Yeah, and she falls into the water and becomes Luffy because that was
like he's reborn.
Hot water, cold. Yeah, it'd be great.
As much as I like the Boruto manga, it's very unnecessary.
Oh yeah, I stopped reading that after like episode 1.
Dude, the manga is legitimately actually good. The anime is just way too freaking long with too much filler, like the original anime. But I blame Perry out for that.
I could not get into Boruto. I just could not.
Yeah, I mean, because Naruto should.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say there are scenes that I watched in the show where I'm like, Naruto should easily kill this person. Like Naruto is a god.
Yeah. The power scaling is so bad.
Yeah. Like I think there's a reason why he can't like just go into 6-pass Sage mode and just murk like Momoshiki, for example. I just don't know what that would be. But for what it is right now, I'm enjoying it.
That's cool. I guess couldn't get into it.
The most recent fight animation they did with Jigen the animation was really good.
I saw that. I will praise the animation. It's great.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Here is Red Lightning 0001. Oda claims he has the ending planned, so hopefully an anime finally ends well. Also, Shanks will probably die near the end since he's old world.
Oh god, please let One Piece end well. I hate it when a really long series has a bad ending, because then I'm like, it just ruins the rewatchability for me.
I don't think it will. Well, okay, I don't think it will ruin like all of it. You know, I think even if the ending was bad at this point, there's still so much like good stuff that's happened. You know, that's not going to ruin like Enies Lobby. You know, that's still fucking chef's kiss. You know.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that was great.
Like the Bleach ending of the manga, it's bad, but it doesn't ruin like say the Soul Society arc for me.
Yeah.
And I do hope that they change the ending when the anime returns, because God, that plot arrow was just so stupid.
Oh, they need to fix a hell of a lot if they want to make the anime good, because there's so many plot holes or so many loose ends.
Oh yeah, like and thankfully they confirmed that it's going to be just as violent as it was in the manga, because it's going to be airing at midnight, and I'm just like, yes, let's go.
Good.
Well,
good.
So long as it's not forced by the publisher to end, like we saw with Bleach or any others that were long-standing.
Yeah, I can't see that happening to One Piece.
Yeah.
That's like the highest selling anime or manga. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
The problem would be more likely that they'll try to drag it out, and that Oda will be like, no, I've got the ending. I'm trying to end, and they're like, no, you need to write more. Make it so it takes longer, and that might be the problem with like just pacing.
Yeah, so
that's a scary thought.
The typical stuff is they usually have a denouement that involves a time skip or some sort of frame narrative where, I remember when this happened. It's always in the future. Some bizarre thing like that. It's like that we don't need that. We don't need that.
I mean, it would be weird if we get like literally like volumes worth of like literally the main conflict is over. We're just doing like cleanup, you know, like that.
Everyone has a family, and they're just
this 10 arc episode denouement. Yeah, that'd be ridiculous.
And here's Sanji's restaurant, and we're gonna have a spin-off series that's just a fucking slice of life of Sanji in his restaurant.
There is a spin-off story of Sanji, cooking for people that is illustrated by Saiki Shun, the artist or author for Food Wars.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. They're coming out with a One Piece cookbook.
Why?
Yeah, they
That's
actually
an actual thing. That's an actual thing.
There's even a side story for Ace that's a manga adaptation of the Ace side story light novel that is being drawn by Boichi, the artist for Dr. Stone.
That's cool.
Interesting.
The art is amazing. I love his art.
I love the art in Dr. Stone. It's so good.
Here is Bat Kid the Jedi Bendu. Thanks again. You can make the Goku asexual, aromantic argument because it's actually plausible, but isn't a contradiction to say asexual people can't have sex or get married by the spectrum rules. It's not clear what exactly she was trying to say when we talked about aromantic and asexual, because if you don't specify the emotion or the state or the stimulus, the desire, the intent, if you don't state all these things of what ought to be, like when you say something is something, it's like, this is the state of being, but you don't say what you should do with that, like the behavioral reaction to that state. Like just because you have sexual behavior doesn't mean you should go pursue sex, right? So if she doesn't explain what the asexual state is, as opposed to the sexual state or the aroused state, you can't make the discernment between that and romance, where it's like, well, you have emotion, but it's not the sexual emotion. So what emotion is it? Well, it's an emotion of liking something. Well, that's the same idea. What are you talking about? Well, you're not aroused. But it's like, then what the hell are you doing? You're with someone you're not aroused by? Like, what does that, like, what does that mean? I have to understand the impetus behind it. And once you understand that, then you might get a grasp on these two states. And without it, we're just guessing, oh, it's a social thing. Well, you could be completely unaroused and still be romantic by acting romantically. So are you faking it? Are you lying to the person? Like, what is
I think some people don't ever just take into account that maybe these authors are just bad at writing romance.
Or don't want to.
Or don't want to, true.
Yeah. Because they're making an action adventure comedy. So, yeah. It's a mess. This is all a mess because people project these ideas onto their favorite stories. And it just happens not just with weirdos. This happens with normal fans where they say, oh, if only I could do this in Chrono Trigger, went back in time and changed that, what would happen? Like, you always have these wonderful headcanon running around in your head saying, oh, this would be cool if we had another character that did this, or we invented a new character that did that, which is the root of many, many fan fiction / authors that do their own thing. So it's very common. It's just when you have these other issues like politics and whatever sexual identities that they have to talk about because they read a word or they read a book that said the word and they have to apply it to their favorite thing. And this is where we get these crazy YouTube videos. So anyway, Mike Testa, again, he's got 2. One Piece, 1/2 by Ryan Johnson, a One Piece fan. Oh, I don't know, man.
No.
Might not work out as good as you might think.
That makes me shudder.
Is that a Ranma 1/2 One Piece crossover?
I still think it could be possible because if they use the idea of people who are dead and they come back with hot or cold water, I thought that would be funny. Maybe it'd be more romantic than comedy. I don't know. Mike Testa, even if it was Attack on Titan or Promised Neverland, no, you wouldn't give it to him anyway. No, you would not have him touch.
So sad about the second season of Promised Neverland.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it just because I heard terrible things.
The first season was so good.
I still need to read it.
It's the manga is actually really cool. I really like it.
They skipped over so much in the second season of
Yeah,
the
why
anime.
did they?
Skipped over so much of the
Why did
manga.
they?
It's like, no, that was a really good part.
Yeah, why did they do that? That was a weird. That was a weird take. I didn't watch the second season. I heard about it. I was like, that's why? Why would you omit stuff that's necessary to the story?
I think the actual ending of the manga wasn't the best, but there was still so much like good stuff like in the manga, but now they just sort of ruined it within the anime.
Have you guys seen or read Vinland Saga?
Just the first season.
Yeah, I watched the anime, but I haven't read the manga.
Dude, I am so hyped for season 2. Let's go. I'm so excited. It's so good.
It's good. Yeah, I get.
Yeah, I love the what was the what was it? Well, not the kid, not the main character kid, but the one that killed his dad.
Oh,
what was
that
his
guy.
name? Yes, I loved him.
Dude, my favorite character in season 1 was Thorkel. That man is an absolute
yeah.
He uppercuts a horse into the air. Like, how can you not love that?
Thorkel is great. He's such a great guy.
Like, he's just so fun to watch.
It's a good series in general. If you don't want ridiculous, crazy crap in your anime or manga, it's all down to earth stuff.
Yeah, very down to earth.
Yep. All right, where are we? Da-da-da. Here is another Bat Kid the Jedi Bendu at $10 this time, or $9.99. Asexual, aromantic, or not. These tropes usually fall in the jokey child innocence category because these are shonen characters. The pros of this argument are hit or miss 50-50. Because she brought up Sherlock, I was like, where are you going with this? Because the BBC Sherlock's a lot different than the book Sherlock. So Are you trying to say that the interpretation from one, like, written to screen is different? It's like, yeah, I agree. That's always the case. But it's just not there. Just because it's not there doesn't mean it doesn't exist in the character. We're talking about a personality or the idea of a character or the idea of a person through character. And you can't just say this person has no feelings because the writer said so. Unless it's like some sort of robot or in the future or some god creating life and saying this person will have no ability to love. You're like, okay, fine. And then we have to eliminate that concept in a character, and then you could eliminate that concept in theoretical discussions about what could not happen. So with Sherlock, yes, he is a thinking brain, but he's still human. He still has needs. He still has emotions. He still has the testosterone pumping through his blood. He just doesn't act on those emotions. It's like a monk. A monk is either a vow of celibacy or something, and they'll say, yeah, of course I have a vow of celibacy, but I'm still a man. I still have these feelings. He just suppresses them or deals with them in another way. That's how you see these sorts of unique individuals with amazingly mathematical minds or idiot savants that can calculate pi or whatever. So there's still people. Mike Testa, Fairy Tale have a good ending? I haven't watched Fairy Tale in a long time, so I couldn't tell.
No, I did not. I hate that show with a passion.
Wow.
Yeah.
I enjoy it for just dumb fun. Like, it's one of those shows where it's like, it's just fun to watch. Like, the writing is it good? Oh God, no, but it's fun. That's why I like it.
Yeah, I won't take that away from anybody. I just watched it and I was just frustrated with how many bait and switches they pulled in that show.
I'm coming to take it away.
Zero, the new
I'm coming
series
to your
by the
house
creator
and
of
taking
it.
away your
Oh,
enjoyment.
sorry.
No.
What did you say?
No, I'm saying I'm coming to your house and I'm taking away your enjoyment of Fairy Tale. I'm coming in. I'm gonna break into your house in the middle of the night. Just gonna steal it.
Yeah,
I'll be ready for you.
No more.
it was a fairly
Apparently-
long series. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently the new series he created, Eden Zero, is actually good, like writing
Really?
wise. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Huh.
I've got the first volume of the manga. I just need to read the freaking thing.
I've read 3 chapters when it first came out. I think they were available. I think they released 3 just in total at first, and I don't know where that's coming from. But if people like it, that's cool.
It's weird though, doesn't it? Like he kind of uses characters. Well, not the characters, but like the design.
Oh
Some
yeah, like,
char-
there is a carbon copy of Lucy and Urza.
Some
in
actual
that-
fairy tale characters make cameo appearances in the show.
Like Happy.
It was too. I think it was too young adult for me. It was too
It's
kiddie.
very campy. Very campy.
It felt
I have
like,
no problem with camp. I like camp.
yeah, it felt like you're watching a Saturday morning cartoon. Like it felt that sort of. In Japan, I imagine this is what it might be. I'm sure
Like fairy tale's more of a late night.
yeah, it was too. It was too silly. I don't know. Some of the fights were like, okay, this is ridiculous. Or there's just no fight at all. Just boom, it's over. It's like, okay. Anyway, Joe Crazy. Luffy joins the Marines. The end. Written and directed by Ryan Johnson.
Oh.
That sounds like a Ryan Johnson thing to do. Unfortunately.
Oh. Anyway, we've got a minute left, pretty much.
Husband,
Oh.
and eventually a good dad. A year after they marry, they have their first son, Gohan. And this leads into the events of Dragon Ball Z. I know that Goku's ignorance and discomfort with the concept of marriage is supposed to be funny, and I understand that in the case of Dragon Ball, it worked out story-wise to have this asexual main character enter a romantic relationship. But I would not be happy if they essentially tricked Luffy into a relationship. When Dragon Ball was first published back in the 80s, there was still an expectation that everybody will eventually settle down. No matter what crazy ambitions you had, you were expected to settle down and start a family. But One Piece, which
Well,
is a
I think
manga
that's
of the
citation
21st
needed there.
century, exists in a time where it's more and more acceptable for people to prioritize other things outside of
What do you-
traditional family life.
What
When
do you
asked
mean?
by a reader whether there would be romance between any of the Straw Hats, Oda answered, "They're all already in love.
What?
with adventure. And Oda has stated that he's not interested in writing about romance in One Piece.
Oh,
So
wait, that's not
hopefully this
true.
means that we'll get to keep Luffy as our asexual hero and an example for the 21st century dreamer who has better things to do than participate in romance.
It's gonna be funny when Luffy
Okay.
ends up
Yeah.
with Nami and just hear her screeching.
Okay, so there's a few things there. Okay, first off, she said when there was this expectation that everyone would eventually settle down in the 80s. I mean, I don't know, was that an expectation? And
in like manga and like shonen.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But first of all, characters in One Piece do settle down. I mean, you have Capone Gang Bege, one of the supernovas. He settles down with Charlotte Chiffon, one of Big Mom's kids. You have Miss Monday and Mr. Nine from Whiskey Peak. You know, I don't know if you guys remember the big buff black lady from Baroque Works. Yeah, so she settles down with Mr. Nine. Baby Five and Don Sai. You guys remember their thing at Just Rosa? When there was actually some serious romance going on there. So during the fight with Baby Five and Don Sai, one of the people that makes an alliance with Luffy, Sai delivers some menacing lines that Baby Five misinterprets as romantic gestures because she has this whole thing about wanting to be needed by people. So he says, "I'll shoot you through your heart," and then she's like, "Oh, that means I'll aim for your heart. I won't let go of your hand," and that means I'll keep holding your hand. Or can you keep up with me? Or can you stick with me? And so she just misinterprets all this stuff, and due to her habit of misconstruing people's words, which was caused by her incessant need to be needed. She falls in love with Sai and believes he's just being roundabout with his proposal due to them being on opposing enemy sides because she's a part of the Don Quixote family, and he's just a guy from another kingdom fighting her with on the side of Luffy. And during their battle, during their battle, Sai tells Baby Five, because she's like, "Hey, what can I do to make you love me? What can I do? How can I help you?" And so Sai is like, "Oh, fine. If you want to help me, kill yourself." And she takes her devil fruit is that she can turn her body into a weapon. So she turns her hand into a gun, puts her hand to her head, and is like, "If that'll help you, I'll gladly kill myself." And so he was like, wait, no, don't do that. I didn't think you were actually going to do it. So he has to run and stop her from doing it. And afterwards, he tells her that no one's ever told you that. After tells him that hey, why did you stop me from killing myself? I was only trying to help. And he's like, no one's ever told you that you're doing the whole helping people thing wrong. And afterwards, some other stuff happens, and one of the other members of the Don Quixote family is like, Baby Five is just a convenient tool for us to use because she'll do everything we want. To which Sai is like, "Oh, well, if you guys don't want her, then then if I win this battle with you, I'm going to make her my wife." And then that makes her heart go like Kyun and stuff like that. Like she falls in love with Sai.
Doki.
Yep, Doki Doki. And then afterwards, after he beats one of the family member, like Baby Five and him, or Baby Five falls in love with Sai, and at the end of the arc, it doesn't show you what happens, but in one of those little one-page story things, it shows that Sai and Baby Five got married. So she finally found her happy ending. So I don't know if Eiichiro Oda actually said he's not interested about writing romance, but he has certainly written a lot of romance stories in One Piece.
It's more about like the crew. Like I can see he doesn't want to have like long ongoing subplots within the actual crew.
Yeah, I can see that. At least. Yeah. I mean, he did have like a romantic story with Sanji and Pudding, but
yeah.
Pudding's not on the crew, so I mean, she very well could have joined though, because Big Mom isn't exactly very nice to her. She's always like calling her ugly for her eye and stuff like that. Which I'm going to be honest, that whole scene with Sanji saying that Pudding's eye is like really beautiful, I saw it coming from a mile away, but it was still nice and sweet. I liked it.
Yeah, it's like even though it's coming, it's still like, aww.
Yeah, like no, there's Sanji. That's our boy.
Oh, it's not Sanji.
That's our boy.
Yeah.
Smooth boy.
Yes, I mean, and also it's weird that she says that in the 80s there's this expectation, but it was only 9 years between Goku marrying Chi-Chi and Bulma having a kid with Vegeta. So I mean, and then One Piece started in 1997. So I don't was there that much of a change in in thinking about how characters should be, So, and also I don't know what she means by there is this expectation. Like I feel like there needs to be some kind of citation.
There's no source to back that up or evidence. It's just I say it, therefore it's true.
Well, that's actually this whole video. It's like this whole video is just citation needed, please.
She only really talks about Dragon Ball, so I don't really. I mean, I guess JoJo was in the 80s, I suppose.
Yeah, it was in the 80s.
JoJo's kind of weird because it has the parts, so it kind of has to have there has to be a next generation, so it's something has to kind of happen there, but it doesn't necessarily have to be settling down per se.
I also find it ironic that she's talking about how it's we're One Piece is in the 21st century. There, it's there isn't this expectation to have the characters settle down, as she shows fan art of characters settling down with other characters. So I think people are still kind of wanting. There's a lot of people who want to see the Straw Hats get together with someone else. There's a lot of expectation that that'll happen. So nothing's changed since the 80s. We still some people still want to see, which is the case for any show when you have or any anime or any television show or movie. Is you have this thought that this character goes well with this character. That'd be pretty cool if they ended up together. People still draw fan art of that stuff, so I don't think it's that the expectation that people settle down has changed. I mean, look at Naruto. I mean, they made the whole Boruto thing, and all the characters settled down with someone. I mean, not all of them, but the ones we cared about.
Yeah, most of them did. The epilogue for Naruto is really sweet, where it showed Himawari and Hinata at Neji's grave. That was sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it in the last when Hinata's knitting Naruto a new sweater after it got destroyed in the battle with Momoshiki. The scarf, right? And then Naruto comes home, and Boruto and Himawari, they all go outside to play in the snowball outside, and it's nice and sweet. It's a nice ending.
It's so wholesome.
Yes, and then the wedding reception at the ending, it's just
Dude, that I was bawling at that because freaking watching this series for 15 plus years, and
you grew up with it, and you just you see them grow
up.
It's
over. It's oh man. I could just gush about that for hours.
But bottom line is, Luffy's not asexual.
Yeah,
thank God.
Pretty much. And anybody that thinks that is a fool.
I think we provided enough evidence to prove otherwise.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, it was a strange take. It wasn't it wasn't one of those videos where you go, "This is so stupid." It's just that's a weird take. I wouldn't say that. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I agree.
And she ended it okay. I think she ended it as a fan would, saying, it'll turn out differently. Who knows? It'll be fun. It'll be an adventure. And that's what the thing is. That's what's all you could really say as the main theme of the story is adventure. So
right, yeah.
Whatever your aspirations, whatever your interest, whether you're a girl and you like romance, or whether you're a guy you like more action, there's always some fun to be had in manga and anime. You just have to find the one you like and try not to speculate too much. Just keep it open mind for what these artists do, because sometimes the first episode is so shocking, but it's they have to get into their groove. And with a title like One Piece, most of the mangas I read, most of any Japanese content I read, the titles are gigantic. They're huge, like a sentence or two.
Well, the light novels especially.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are the ones with the really long titles.
There's one I found the other day. It's 2 sentences long, and I'm like, why?
It's funny. It's so funny. And it's only for their initial concept, their proof of work or their pitch idea. And then they just go and make the continuation because it did well, or they got a green light to do a second one. And they just do other stuff. And it's this was supposed to be a story about a guy picking up girls in a dungeon. This is totally not what's happening. It's just so it's like that. Like it's a really good it's a really good story, really good show, but the title is god awful, and I don't know why they keep it. But
there's one manga called
Japanese, and then it just doesn't. It's just like no, it's still just as convoluted.
Yeah. There's
this one manga called "I'm the main character of a harem manga, but I'm gay, so every day is hell for me."
That's amazing.
I swear, they sound like they're generated by an AI. They sound like they literally just have, they just put in some parameters and they just
Can I draw it?
Okay, I'm gonna write that now.
Yeah.
Write that.
I need ideas. Idea generator 2000s. Like boop.
Like I think the title comes first, and they just like go, okay, yeah, that sounds good.
It's funny because I have a lot that I don't even know the translation for. I just recognize the cover. I'm like, I like that one. It's got like
same here.
Got like 20 million views. I'm like, whatever. I don't care. just keep reading.
Check it out.
At my manga bookshelf, and I'm just trying to find something as crazy as that, and I just can't.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. There's all kinds of great plots, or simple plots rather, that have great expressions of revenge or love or romance or adopting a daughter or any sort of lifestyle choice that would not normally be expressed today, or could be expressed but in a medieval setting or a magical setting, and they always have a little unique little element that makes it a bit more interesting. So
yeah, they just cute little escapist stories.
Yeah, I really appreciate that because it's realistic enough to go, okay, this is cool. And you have like giant mothers and fathers who are like 7 foot tall, and like, okay, that's a bit weird, but it's cool because it really showcases the cuteness or the smallness of the little characters or the younger characters that are there to express that idea. So the art style showcases that the world is huge, and you're a nobody, you're a nothing, and you got to grow up to become something. You got to struggle all the way throughout your life.
And there's a ton of characters like that in One Piece. I mean, there are characters that are like 20 feet tall.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. That's why I really like Naruto, because I watch it not for the character drama, although that's fine. I really like the big battles with giant frogs and snakes. It's like, that's what I want to see. I want to see crazy stuff like that you can't get anywhere else.
And gods
the hand-to-hand stuff in Naruto. Like the really like simple, like the really well animated, just hand-to-hand parts.
One of the best fights in the entirety of the series, in my opinion at least, is Obito versus Kakashi. Like that is so good.
Oh my god, yes.
Like I related to Naruto. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Did they rip it off anything? Because I know they copied.
No.
Okay.
No, it's original. And it looks fantastic.
All right. Okay. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with copying another movie or whatever. I just found it funny because I was watching the Neji fight. I was like, why does that look so familiar to me?
Yeah, the fight with Naruto and Sasuke versus that one god in Boruto.
Momoshiki.
Momoshiki. Wayland Zhang, the animator who did that, my god, he's like a genius at fight choreography. If you just look at his portfolio, it's just incredible.
But I do like the reason why I gravitated toward Naruto above like more than One Piece and like Bleach when I was younger is because I have a disability and I felt I related to Naruto more because he was ostracized for that, something he had no control over.
Right.
So that's why I felt like I could relate to him.
Well, I feel like I almost like in that regard, like Rock Lee was almost more like the fact that he couldn't do the jutsus and everything.
Yeah, he was all taijutsu.
So and that's why Naruto related to him so much.
That is the great thing about. I always say this about good stories: is what you do is you take your protagonist, your antagonist. If you want side characters or obstacles, what you do is you take them and you make another version of them. So it's the same template, just a slight twist. The same way the antagonist is a slight different perspective of the protagonist. Just like the same with Sasuke. He's pretty much the same idea, just the inverse of Naruto. He's just awesome at everything, and he has the same problem, but he has a whole other goal, and his goal is revenge, whereas the opposite is Naruto wants to unify people. He wants to be friends with everyone, and Sasuke wants to distance himself from everyone. So that's what you do in stories. In good stories, you take that and you just spin it ever so slightly, and then create that character.
One of my favorite parts with Sasuke's entire story is when he gets told that Itachi wasn't this monster they thought he was,
right.
And he just has like a freaking panic attack. Like that whole part of that episode was so good.
Oh,
like,
right.
Yeah,
when he finally thought he was strong enough to face off against him, and he's just like flipping out and just pulling his shirt and like, what are you doing, Sasuke? You're losing it. And he just stops him without even trying. He's like, yeah, whatever, my little brother.
Yeah, and then when he eventually does kill Itachi, kill in quotations here, it's revealed that Itachi loved him so much that he told the village elders to leave Sasuke alone, protect him, don't touch him, basically, leave him alone. And Sasuke was like because he didn't know what to believe at that point because he was so distraught with this information. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you lead your entire life hunting a guy, and then you learn that all you knew, was the truth. Yeah, it was a lie. But you already killed him.
It is a bit extreme. It's almost a fantastical scenario where you find out your brother murdered your entire family,
or that Darth Vader's your father,
or some. Yeah, it's that sort of like, oh my god, that's horrific, and that's what ends up happening. So
yeah, the reason why he did it was to stop a coup d'état, which would cause a civil war in the Leaf.
Right, and this is not to mean that Sasuke is asexual. He does, in fact, get married later on.
Yep.
And
he has Sarada.
And there's nothing wrong with Sakura as a girlfriend. She's a bit crazy at times. Maybe she could kill you in your sleep, but it's that's every anime girl.
She's a
really.
good mom.
She is, yeah. She's a great mom.
I still prefer the fights in like early Naruto.
Yeah,
I agree. I definitely.
Lee versus Gaara is like godly.
Oh my god,
so good.
Zabuza versus Kakashi.
Dude, I actually met the voice actor for Zabuza at a con.
Oh really?
Oh, that's cool.
The dub voice actor. It's Steve Bloom, the guy who does Spike Spiegel.
Wait, he did Spike?
Yeah, he did Spike.
Oh.
Isn't he in?
He's also
in Digimon Tamers as well.
Yeah, he's a bunch of characters in Naruto. He's Ao. He's Onoki. Like you name it, he's a bunch of characters in Naruto.
Yeah, he famously blocked me on Twitter. So.
Oh.
Wow.
What did you do?
He has a bad case of TDS.
TDS, yeah.
Oh. Oh, that's too bad.
That was like every day for like 4 years.
Yeah,
like, dude.
Yeah,
chill.
It was. Thankfully, he's kind of mellowed out.
But in terms of fights in early Naruto, one of the ones, it's not even that big of a fight. I just think it's like I find it like one of the funniest like moments because it's Shikamaru, and it's Shikamaru just being just slightly more big brained than the other like ninjas, and it's the bit where I can't remember who is it. It's not Ten he's fighting. No.
Tamari.
No, I don't. That's not the one I'm thinking of.
I was.
Is this Shippuden?
Was it?
No. It's in the tuning exams. It's
okay. Never mind.
Bonker head.
Yeah, it's where he has her with the shadow
Position
thing, and he like gets a kunai out, and she gets a kunai out, and he throws the kunai, and then as he dodges it because she's up against the wall, she bashes her head against the wall because she's doing the same move that he's doing. You know, he's dodging her kunai, and then she's dodging his kunai, but because he's in the open, so he can do that. But then she bonks her head. I just thought that part was just like
I know who you're talking about.
I always
big brain. That's such a big brain moment.
It was I think it was just a random girl from the Sound Village.
She
really had a name.
But I just thought that was like such a that just sums up. Like Shikamaru is like probably possibly my favorite character. Like Shikamaru is like all of his fights are just so good and so.
He's one of those characters you don't expect to become so important.
Yeah, and then he becomes the right hand man to the Hokage.
And I love the way he becomes Chunin, like the fact that he's just like, no, I don't even want to fight because I'm too lazy and it's a drag. Even though he's basically won, he's just like, no, yeah, but I could win, but that would just be so much effort. And they just give it to him anyway. They're just like,
it's too much of a drag. I'm out.
It's just a drag.
I always enjoyed the. We're talking about Rock Lee, right? Is that what you were talking about? The fight?
No, wait.
It was Shikamaru.
We're talking about Shikamaru.
Oh, Shikamaru. Oh, I'm sorry.
The shadow possession jutsu.
Yeah, no, I thought you meant Kimimaro, which was versus.
Oh, that fight, the drunken fist.
That's so fucking
that
good.
Was so good.
That's my.
The animation is actually just.
Well, it's like you get comedy, you get action, you get plot, you get a lot of things, and that guy is just weird. It's like, how the hell are you gonna fight this?
There's a lot of stuff in that fight, like that Rock Lee does, where I'm like, is that practical?
No.
I don't think that's like the bit where he's like running like backwards at him and like kicking and like elbowing backwards, like he's like literally like running backwards at Kimimaro. And you're like, what are you doing? but it looks really good. But you're still just thinking, is this really? How is this effective? This doesn't seem like it would be effective. It looks really cool, but at the same time, what are you actually doing?
That is what I expect from Naruto. I expect a lot of weird, crazy fight scenes that aren't necessarily like punching and kicking, like the way people would do normally in a fight scene, but not necessarily magic, not necessarily knives and swords, but like actual fights. This guy just happens to extend his body with his bones or whatever. So that is like, okay, I can really get behind that because that's unique and it's not too complicated, and plus he's drunk, so that was kind of funny.
The fact that it's Gaara that comes
it comes in
is so like it's such a weird emotion, you know. The
right.
fact that he's the one who injured him in the first place.
Yeah, I like that. I like that too. So many good things in that scene. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, guys, we can be rambling on about anime for a while now. I'm gonna keep you happy and take a nap, or I don't know what you do in the evenings, but not rambling too much. That's crazy talk. Here's Tyler Preston. Who would win in a fight, Luffy versus Mr. Fantastic? Okay, well, you're talking about two different things.
Yeah.
Comic book Elastic Man versus anime Elastic Man. It's kind of like, all right.
Well, it depends if Mr. Fantastic can get him in the water.
Ooh.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's a good point.
But then Luffy still has Haki as well, though.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter. He'd still be he can't swim regardless.
Yeah. But he'd have to get him to the water in the first place.
Yeah, we're talking about Reed. The problem is we're talking about Reed Richards, so he's one of those super intelligences.
He'd probably have he'd probably make like a weapon that would like fire
giant
like
water
cannon.
Like
no, but he would have like a thing that fires like automatically locking like sea stone shackles or something. Like he'd have like a thing that like fires them.
Oh,
and
sea prison bullets.
Drops. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Luffy could also just make a giant fist and crush him. So
and go into the other gears and everything.
Yeah.
Well, there's lots of ways you could take that. You have to actually read up on Mr. Fantastic and all his intelligence and what he can do and what Luffy can and can't do.
I think intelligence levels in comics are such bullshit. They're literally the most BS, like, pulling shit out of their ass. Like, no, they're just, like, X intelligent. And it's treated basically like power levels in Dragon Ball, where it's just like, no. He's, like, a bajillion intelligent. He's got, like, 5,000 intelligence points.
Power levels are bullshit.
Yeah.
They are bullshit.
Intelligence in Marvel, like, DC comics is like that.
Oh, yeah,
like,
they're ridiculous, dude.
No, you understand. He is simply built different. His brain is simply built different. You don't understand.
He is the true galaxy brain.
All right.
Probably are characters in Marvel that literally have galaxies for brains.
It's possible. I'd have to read up on some of those Omega level mutants, but yeah, there are some crazy level powers that people can do. Oh boy. Last one. Here's Mike Testa. Dub actors still pretentious as hell post 2020.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Some of them are.
I mean, I think I can't remember her name, but she was recently on this podcast, I think, where they were playing this one anime video game, and they were in Giga, and this one YouTuber named Giga was on there. A few YouTubers were doing it, and she's one of those people that goes on and about how we need to give black roles or black character roles to black people.
Or something.
There's a few of those that gave up their job.
Yeah, Aaron Fitzgerald.
Oh my god!
For Guilty Gear, the character isn't even black; she's just tan.
Right, but you know what they say. You know what? In an anime, if it's tan, it's black.
Yeah.
Is this the one like what is it called? Like my dark skinned, like something dark is like in this title.
No. There's. I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about my dark skinned friend turned into a black gal or something.
No. What is it?
The one that
it's something dark skinned gal.
Well,
is in there or something.
I don't know. This is not a Eastern, or this is not an anime. This is like a Netflix thing called Central Park. Like there's the voice actor from that, just because I remember the shape of the character's head. I don't remember her name, but she.
Is this the Bob's Burgers show?
There was another one from that. There's like 4 or 5 of them that did this. That said, I'm going to step down to give my job to someone else because I'm not the race of the character I play, which is the strangest thing.
It's just stupid virtue signaling bullshit.
It's as if I have so much money and I'm like amazing. I can get a job anywhere, so I'm going to give it to someone else. Like, wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It's just so. It just feels so condescending to black people. Like we need to, the white people need to allow black people to have roles, and it's like you guys don't seem to understand how just kind of insulting it is.
Pretty racist.
Yeah, I find it to be.
It is very much virtual signaling, and that's why it's ridiculous. I can't listen to these people anymore. Anyway, last one. I just skipped Joe Crazy for some reason. Oh, now I know why, because you mentioned this. I know Steven Universe has copied entire fight scenes from some anime. No way. And the
Steven Universe copied the entire concept of Tenchi Muyo.
Which one?
Yeah, that's right, it did.
Just the original. I mean, think about it. I mean, you got a guy who's living with all these super powerful beings, and then he has 3 goddesses for family members, and it's kind of like this harem. It's not exactly a harem situation like Tenchi Muyo is, because Steven Universe isn't
for sure
like that. But it's just a very similar premise to Tenchi Muyo.
Well, in this case, Joe's saying they copied entire fight scenes. I was like, really?
That is actually they copied one from Utena.
Yeah, Utena.
Oh, really?
They did.
Yep.
Of course they're going to copy from Utena, right? It's like, oh, everyone loves it. Yeah, we love Utena. It's so beautiful. It's got these girls, and they fight for each other. They love each other. Okay, thank you. We get it.
Yeah, that must be your favorite.
Oh,
they also did Sailor Moon, I think, because the whole transformation thing.
That I guess I can understand, but that's the fight scenes in Sailor Moon are like, okay.
Yeah, the Sailor Moon characters get ridiculously strong later on.
That's in Super S, I think, or beyond that. Crystal,
yeah, it's
something
like they got like freaking Galaxy Busters, I think. And I'm just like, it's a cute shoujo magical girl. They don't need to be this strong.
I know they did I watched was a death battle between one of the villains of Sailor Moon.
Beerus versus Galaxia or something like that.
It was some her powers are just way this is not a Sailor Moon villain. This is over the top. This is stupid. Anyway. Alex Halo, you're back. What happened? Of course, he's here to talk about Fate. Thank you, Alex. In Fate, there is a white Japanese girl named Kuro, means black, and she has dark skin like Archer. What? Wait, let me read that one more time. Because I should know this, but I'm just... In Fate, there was a white Japanese girl. All right, with you so far. Named Kuro, means black. Okay. And she has dark skin like Archer. See, this is where I'm getting lost here, because Archer doesn't have dark skin. He's
more tan than anything. Really.
I mean, Lancer?
Maybe? Which series is this? Which part of Fate? Kuro. Is that the magical girl one, or is that the cooking one? I can't remember.
He might be talking about the magical girl one. He likes to post a lot of that stuff. Like,
yeah, I can understand that because they play around with lots of other characters and they upload cards to their bodies or something. I can't remember how it works, but
Clade, I think that's what it is.
yeah. Okay. Mike, you're still going, man. Vic is the only dub actor who gets a pass. Vic Mignogna.
Yep, he does.
The shit he's went through, yeah, it's pretty bad. So yeah.
Yeah,
actually emailed him
and
once.
Johnny Young Bosch.
Oh, okay.
I sent an email to Vic Mignogna and he replied.
Oh, he did.
What do you say?
Yeah.
Awesome guy. Really.
Nothing. Well,
I
was
met
just
him twice.
Hey, Vic Mignogna. Hey. I was like, oh.
Vic is legitimately one of the kindest guys you'll ever meet. He's so sweet.
From what I've seen, I've never met the guy, but I've just seen clips of him at cons. But yeah, he seems like it's a really down to earth guy. I mean, in terms of his voice acting work, I guess probably best thing he's ever done is Edward Elric. Just great.
Yeah.
I can that like Fullmetal Alchemist and Brotherhood are like I never watched the sub. It just feels weird. It's like
Right? Yeah.
it's in dub
Oh,
to
yeah.
me. It just is the dub. Like it feels weird to watch the sub.
I'm like that with that and Hellsing. I can't watch Hellsing subs. I need to hear Crispin Freeman as Alucard. He's so good.
Yeah.
Obviously,
The Helsing is
Goku. the Japanese Goku is just weird. It's so high, you know.
No,
like,
the Helsing.
It's like, oh god, no.
I think watching Helsing, even Helsing Ultimate, I think with the English is worth it. And I don't like dubs really, but that's like, okay, if you're gonna give me Nazis, you're gonna give me a good German accent. Okay, good, that's good. So,
Stream memes.
stream memes. Oh yeah, that's right. We got stream memes.
Almost forgot.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, me too.
you're having too much fun. Let me see what we got here. All right. So these are the memes from Taku Sage. Here we go. I can take on all of Naruto's shadow clones at once in a fight, right? In a fight, right?
Uh-oh. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen some dojins.
This is
there.
two haircuts I could notice from Hinata there. So I was like,
Yeah, one's from Shibuya and the other one's from Boruto.
Boruto.
yeah. And here's the frame of the video we were just watching. So,
Oh yeah, Nami naked.
whoa! Everyone freaks out. Oh my god! It's like they're interested in her or something.
That's weird. Why should you be interested in that?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I thought it was asexual.
That's gross.
Alrighty. How far back do I have to go, gentlemen? Let's see. There we go. Nope, not good enough. Wait, what? Oh, here we go. Okay. Joe Crazy. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, I get it. Thanks. Jeez. Cute, but I get it. Alex Halo. Oh, Alex Halo. Thanks, Alex. Didn't know you did memes. I can take 50 of Naruto's shadow clones in a fight, right? Okay. Mom, why do you like Dad's shadow clone jutsu so much, Hinata?
She thought she got more than one man.
Oh boy. Traps can be destroyed. Try destroying this trap. Oh my god.
The problem solved.
Jeez. I don't know who the character is on the left. I know the character's on the bottom left, so. All right, cool. Berserker. One Piece Rubberman. I don't know. I didn't watch the show. Wow. Is that a guy in a gimp suit? Like, what is that?
You got the hat right.
Is that from American Horror Story?
Which season?
The first season. Isn't
Uh,
it the first season that has the gimp?
is that? Oh, I never watched the first. I always watched the other 2 and 3. I watched it. My girlfriend at the time was trying to get me into horror, and I was like, all right, whatever. And I like
I think 2 was my favorite one. I think
the one with the hotel.
the one with the like asylum.
The asylum. Okay, not the coven. Okay, I think it was
That's season 3,
season 3. Okay.
and then the season 4 is the freak show.
Great show. I love the concept of reintroducing new characters or new settings with the same
The fact
actors.
that it's we're just going to do a season, and it's
Yeah.
the story's just going to be a season. I like that.
Very interesting technique and shows off the skill of the actors as well. So used to do that back in theater days. Yay. Alexis. Hey, Alexis, how's it going? I haven't heard of you for a while. Okay, we got... what is happening here? We got stack of
no idea.
newspapers. We got a fish head.
Video.
And someone with... Okay, who's that hair then? The
I
asexual...
think it might be a VTuber.
A VTuber fish head. Does
I think
anyone...
the joke is that it's a tuna girl, maybe.
The tuna girl?
Possibly.
Stack of newspaper,
This is
tuna head girl.
This is too obscure for me. This is
Yeah,
too
I'm
deep.
not sure what this is.
Like, this is some 4D memery.
The lore, the lore is
Well,
too
Alexis rarely posts, so I'm like, maybe he was like waiting for this one. I don't know. There's got to be something here I'm missing. It's a fish out of water, maybe, and
Maybe it died from watching the video.
jumped out of the water and killed itself. That's possible. I'm a little confused about the stack of papers. A newspaper? What is that? Just
It looks like the fish was holding a pen, and I think it was writing something.
a suicide note.
Maybe that might be it. That might be the closest.
Maybe.
That might be accurate.
Oh, jeez. I don't know,
Look at that
Alexis.
stack.
Anyone who knows what the hell's going on, leave it in the comments on the Discord as well as on the chat, wherever you like. Alrighty. Image flip. What is this? Interesting. Aryan sexual.
Oh no.
Fantastic.
Oh boy.
Bravo. That's a good one there. Joe Crazy.
Oh, that's actually a video. But
Oh my God. Gorgeous Rex. What did you do? Queen Arthur, King Artoria, viewing the pre-Saxon English mythos through a trans lens. Fate Stay Night. Oh my
is this an
God.
actual video?
I hope to God not.
If
I was
it
just
is,
kidding.
I might drink myself to death. I'll go full hawk.
See, this is what I was saying at the beginning. It's very easy to make a video like this.
Because we're doing one of her videos tomorrow, and I hope it's not this.
Ooh, I'll pray for you.
I don't know what it's going to be. Usually we ask Dunn. I don't think Dunn's available, but someone will give us some suggestions. Hans, the legendary champ. But he does make me kind of wet. Yeah. Here's Alexis one more time. Luffy doesn't want to marry me. Make him believe marriage is food. It always works. Yeah. Why not?
Did she say that?
Luffy could could fall for that.
I think until it's in his stomach, he's not falling for that shit.
Yeah, it's got to be digested properly and pass through his large intestine. Then it's okay. Joe Crazy again. The robosexual flag. What is that from?
That looks like an evil organization.
Where is that? It looks familiar. It's not.
Is that not a flag from One Piece? Or,
Is it? No. I was thinking of that other anime, Piercing the Heavens. What the hell is it called? The Drill.
Gurren Lagann.
Maybe, but maybe not.
Gurren Lagann.
I was thinking of that girl's hair ties, maybe, but probably not.
Hair ties.
What's
Like
her
drills.
the redhead? The redhead with the sniper rifle.
Oh, Yoko.
Yeah. Maybe I got that reference mixed up. I don't remember. Anyway. Oh no, Bearserker. If a man in a position of power doesn't want to have sex with his female subordinate, he's asexual. If he does, he's a rapist. It's two extremes.
Oh, I think we found who that one tuna was.
Oh yeah.
Next meme.
Yeah.
What is it? What's the tuna one? Anyone know?
It's at the one under the meme you just read about. I think that these two might be. It's from Alexis. I think these two might be VTubers. I think, and because he's calling her an idiot tuna sandwich, she got the white hair.
Oh, okay. An idiot tuna sandwich. So she's so dealing with nihilism is the tuna. Okay. All right. Alexis. Okay, we gotta. I think of all the steak.
I don't want any of those boobs. Give me that steak.
How do you do it, Shepard? I think of all the steak. Eric, corporate needs you to find the difference between the picture and this picture.
Nice.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, dealing with that. I wish her actual shtick was talking about nihilism in all her videos, but no, it's asexual bullshit.
Yeah, did any of that have to do with none of that has to do with nihilism?
Nothing to do with nihilism. Absolutely nothing.
Odd choice for a name.
Right, yeah.
Channel.
Jesus, yeah.
Oh, showing all of her other videos now.
Oh God.
JoJo is
The
gay.
myth of gay child molesters. The myth. They don't exist.
Wait, where do you see
Not
that
a thing.
one?
In the second fucking screenshot.
It's Ahsoka.
It's contributing to the myth of gay child molesters. They don't exist.
Wait,
They don't exist.
how do you show a picture of Hisoka and then say the myth of
No, but
gay child
he's
molesters?
contributing to the myth of gay. It's a myth. It's a myth. Gay child molesters are a myth,
So her most popular video in this
according to
list
dealing with nihilism.
is why are all female villains in Batman bisexual? No, they're not.
Yeah, Catwoman isn't, is she?
No. Well, depending on what version of Batman, but it's like, what are you talking about?
Like, that's a bit of a generalization.
Yeah, there's so many versions of all these characters. What are you talking about? Batman
Maybe it would
is...
make more sense if she picked a specific why all the characters in this Batman are
Yeah,
bisexual
there's
or stuff like
dozens of universes of Batman where they have all these iterations and different interpretations of every character.
Sexual. I think this is in the Harley Quinn cartoon.
Yeah, but that's a joke. That's a
But I think it's to appeal to the like hot topic like
Yeah.
crowd or whatever that they're trying to sell the merch to, you know.
People who aren't buying the comics, they keep appealing to them anyway.
Oh, Netflix adaptation. I don't know what the hell am I looking at there.
The
what is that
arms.
toy they're holding? That Usopp's holding?
Yeah.
Look at that Chopper.
It's Chopper, but it's like, oh yeah, no, it is Chopper, but he's like sort of like a weird like. What, I can't get over these fucking arms.
Yeah, I mean,
These fucking Popeye arms. These fucking cancer tumor looking arms.
Yeah.
Those
I
fucking.
know they're-
Sorry, we have to amputate arms.
I know they're actually making a Netflix live action adaptation of One Piece.
Why?
Frankly
I don't-
speaking, I did not ask for this.
No
I did
one-
not ask for it because you
didn't
can't
ask
do
for
One
this.
Piece in live
You
action.
refuse this.
It doesn't
No.
work. It will not. It cannot work. You cannot literally do it. There's no way you can make 20-foot people.
No, you need to basically make it CG. Just do CG.
Just draw it. Then it would just be an anime then.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Or a Master D3X. Holy crap! We're like at the halfway point of the page here.
Then they
Didn't you
keep
want to
going.
have a contest of strength?
Yeah, that's Miss Monday.
The asexual hero we deserve, the asexual hero we need. Yeah.
It's just, no, it's like the asexual hero we deserve. The asexual hero, and the asexual hero we need is just like a bacteria. Like, no, it's fucking Osmosis Jones.
Well,
That's
yeah, like Stalls.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say the coronavirus, but I think we've had enough.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, they should make a fucking sequel to Osmosis Jones where he's fighting the coronavirus.
Here's Neji watching the dude he died for giving his cousin the pipe in the. Wait a second.
Nice, Alex. Nice.
They're not Jedi Force ghosts. The family, they don't have that ability, do they?
No, but
No.
No, but it's funny.
it's funny.
The next meme. Oh my god.
Berserker.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Bearserker, I love you.
I love how they put it on a black guy.
It's bottom text.
Oh no.
Now, if that was fairy
This
tale,
is-
then I'd be like, okay.
I brought this upon myself, frankly
Oh
speaking.
Jesus.
You did.
I put the idea in that.
Oh my god.
This is the actual depiction of Obi-Wan in the films, not the this Clone Wars or the clone 3D animated one, because he was about to leave the order for a woman, but the woman never said so he didn't do it. Oh boy, asexual indeed. What? That's the movie version of Sherlock Holmes. Alexis, again, you're doing a lot, Alexis. Look out. You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of Yonko. What?
Hey, wait a minute. That man doesn't make any sense. Luffy is an emperor now.
It's unofficial though. I suppose it was never really.
No.
official.
It's official.
Is it?
Yeah. That's why.
I don't
well,
know if I got that far then.
All right.
I don't think he's like. I heard some people say he was an emperor.
Oh yeah, he is.
Okay.
Eric, here we go. Truth, justice, and the asexual way? Because it's anime? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
All these fans.
What is this?
It's frightening, that's what it is.
A bunch of, what are they called? Not popes, but
Bishops.
bishops? Yeah, I think they're bishops. You're right. Could be cardinals. I don't know. I don't know all the designs of the Catholic Church. Okay. Reject aces, return to Oda.
Oh, this is great.
Can she make those huge breasts sprout too? Areola flare?
Areola floor.
I'd like to get by that. Une fleur, dos fleur, areola fleur. That's pretty clever if you
Pretty
stop
clever
it,
if
but
you
I'm
stop
sure
it.
she can do it.
I love Oda and his responses to things
Wow.
like this.
That's clever, my friend. Oh boy. Oh, Eric. He's more interested in killing than sex, so it's displaying asexuals in a bad light.
By their logic, yeah.
The hero you need.
Yeah.
You kill my dog, I kill you all. And everyone related to you.
But I don't want to sleep with you. Don't get the wrong idea.
Tangentially, you might be related to killing my dog, so yeah. Either I'm gay or asexual, you decide. Oh, come on. Wife and kids, possibly gay lover. Yeah, asexual. Clearly asexual. Yeah.
Totally.
This next one.
And this is where I'd put my sexual attraction, if I had one.
Oh, Timmy's dad. I love him.
Oh, boy. Fresh meat, the One Piece. Oh.
It's a conundrum.
What do you do?
What if it
Luffy?
is just fresh meat?
There's some laugh about.
It's meat that never goes off, and you never run out.
Is this
Just infinite meat.
Is this Aaron? I don't know. Is Aaron
Yeah, it's
asexual? It's a good question. I don't know.
That's
I mean,
Aaron,
as
don't
a
think
Titan,
he's
he has no
asexual.
dick, so
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is Is that asexual though? Just because you have no dick, does that make you a woman?
I mean,
Or
can
eunuch.
you be? I mean, he doesn't have anything else either. So,
Oh, he got a butt. Got a nice tight one.
does he have an actual hole though?
Well, if
Oh.
if the majority of the time he's in the Titan, then yes, he is asexual.
Like, I don't think he can take like big like Titan shits. You know, like I don't think there's a
Oh,
mechanism.
that sounds painful. That's like some Titan constipation.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right. The aromatic hero we deserve. I will make a harem of cute girls. Aromatic?
I think it's aromantic.
Oh,
Aromantic.
aromantic. Sorry, I read that totally wrong because I've never heard of the word aromantic before. Oh, all right. Send in the asexuals.
Okay. I love the idea of like a Disney movie where it's like instead of like an act of true love or whatever, it's like you must commit an act of true indifference. You know?
Oh
Oh
man.
boy, I am completely ambivalent. Okay.
It's like only an act of true indifference can save you from this curse.
Alexis, 2,000 episodes later. Gold D. Roger.
The greatest treasure is the adventures that you lived through.
No,
There's the One Piece.
Oh,
I hate you.
It's just a mirror that says this goofy nigga.
that'd be amazing.
Yo, Ace, Whitebeard, a little bitch. Okay.
Actually, you know what? That's actually pretty accurate. I mean, the scene literally plays out with Akainu insulting Whitebeard, and so Ace stops running away, turns around, and tries to fight Akainu, which then gets him killed. They were gonna escape.
Look at this man's neck, though.
Yeah,
Jesus
Necky and his
Christ.
it is a
arms.
mountain. It is a literal volcano.
Bruh.
Shit
That's
there.
quite a neck.
It's it's fitting.
An act of asexuality. Okay. Before you said no to a woman, you were somehow gay. Now you say no, you are somehow asexual.
Just keep changing. Can't keep up.
Yeah, it's like when a lady desires to be sexual with you and you say no, it's like, what are you, gay? It's like, no, I'm tired. Been a long day. When you see Eric write memes, pathetic.
Berserker flexing.
Here's Alexis. Man, Alexis is on a roll. Holy crap.
Yeah, seriously.
Holy jeez. Okay, so here we got Luffy just beating the shit out of everyone. And then there's
Not me.
Nami just like, what?
The only one who can actually beat up Luffy.
Yeah. For anyone who wants it, there's a well, that's not the full image, but it'll still work. Gorgeous Rex, is that man asexual hero or a sexual hero?
Okay, I get it.
That's a good one.
Clever. There's whoa, that's like a creepy. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's still kind of creepy though. But
I'm just vibing.
yeah. We're half
In the dark.
done from where we were.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so Bears 20 something, and then we have Hawk 2010, 21 something. I don't know. What's going on? Before or after?
Oh, it's a reply.
Here
to the
is
Eric Wright.
here's I don't know what the hell is going on here with Dollface's avatar.
What did I say that was calming-ish today?
Yeah, what did you say?
I don't know.
I
I
can't-
don't know what inspired this.
Yeah.
You didn't deserve that insult.
Mateus, what's happening, man? What's going on in your brain there?
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
it might make sense in context.
Yeah, that was like an hour ago, so who the hell knows?
Yeah.
Alexis, again, man, Alexis on a roll. Luffy finally finds One Piece and becomes the Pirate King. Me.
He's like stool.
being based in 2021.
This is literally me. This is literally me. No, it is literally me. That's literally me.
That's not a meme, guys.
Is it literally you?
That is literally me. Please help. I'm surrounded by men with guns.
Now we have an American doll face.
I'm not American or communist.
Yeah,
just put the face anywhere. It's just creepy.
You can't just put it sort of menacingly. He's just staring menacingly.
Mateus is like, is he from China? No. Is he from America? No. Okay, I've narrowed it down. Like, okay. The next one's like Uganda or something.
Uganda.
Hans. Why is Dollface's did we miss something? I forgot what the hell he said. What's going on?
I'm gonna have to rewatch this stream.
It's like
I'm lost. Mike Testa after the millionth dead Ace joke ass text. No. I'm gonna make another one. It's gonna be great. It's the same joke though, but it's gonna be great. Bearserker, there's Eric with of course you have to make another butt juice joke with Eric, of course.
Oh God.
How many times am I going to see this image?
Every day, Bearserker. You're never going to let it down. Here's a gorgeous Rex. Dealing with nihilism, I have better things to do than participate in romance. Like what? Upload YouTube videos about not participating in romance.
Oh, the irony.
Isn't it odd that you don't have a motivation for something, but you're motivated to talk about it? Like, what's happening there?
That is odd. That's a good question.
I am completely uninterested in this thing. I'm going to talk about a lot. Like, what?
There was... It just felt like there was no passion behind the video. Like, she didn't really know much about One Piece.
Despite being her favorite anime ever.
Right. It's just like
how much asexual representation, if we're treating asexual as like a minority, like how much representation are we expecting here in media? Like, because how small a minority are people who just have no sexual attraction? That must be tiny.
They're not renting out the entire gym and going there for, what? Like they'd have no motivation. They'd be like, I don't want to be here, and they leave.
Like, how many could you even get? Like, if you wanted to organize a meetup, how many could you even get? Like,
and why?
If they made up that large of the population, we'd be in trouble.
Yeah,
I think the world's going to. I think the population.
Can you imagine a gorgeous guy or a beautiful woman being asexual? Be like, are you sure you're not just like got a hormone imbalance problem, or you just didn't eat enough, or like.
That's the thing. We just put labels on everything now, and we it's like this just a feeling you have, or maybe being indecisive is now a sexuality or a spectrum thing. It just can't be. I'm just a little more boyish than other girls. No, that means you're trans, or I just don't really like having. I just don't really want to have sex right now. Oh, so you're asexual.
Yeah, I don't know the mentality, so I can't understand it well. There might even be a mental disorder associated with this. If you're disassociating from reality, a psychologist would go, okay, there's something there. What is causing?
I think it seems more Munchausen-ish to me, sort of like looking for things to diagnose yourself.
That's
with.
Interesting. That's an interesting take. There's something wrong.
Because it's sort of putting a label on it means it's like a sort of. An extra thing to put in your bio, it's an extra identifier thing.
I'm suddenly,
it's decoration essentially.
I'm suddenly thinking
like jewelry.
Yeah, I'm suddenly thinking of like Wisp in the Discord going, yes. He's like writing it over and over again. The Dollface is right. This is what I've been saying for 2 hours.
Wisp, when he went on that rant about asexuality, I think it was a couple of streams ago. I was like, dude, I feel this on a spiritual level.
Yeah, Wisp was a wonderful addition to this Smudcast. He knows his stuff. All right. Wow. This is funny.
Yeah, I think this is from Thriller Bark.
Just dump them back in. Just no. You go back. Okay, you're good. Are you not entertained by my memes, Bears? No. Gorgeous Rex. I actually met the voice actor to Khan, the dub voice actor. That's good, actually. I like that.
That's a good one.
Of course, Mateus has to come up with the History Channel. Thank you, Mateus. Mike Testa, Bearserker, and oh my no, hating pretentious dub actors.
Who doesn't?
I loathe them.
The Chad. There he is. There's the man.
It's Vic Mignogna.
Yeah.
Yep.
Playing my man Broly.
Smut, you will win with this symbol. Now, that I know is the History Channel icon. I don't think that's what you mean, though. But I will say I will win with history in general if I reference it. So you're not wrong, but what you actually meant could have a second meaning. All right, Rigby, the Robosexuals went too far this month, so we have to cull the herd. I don't know, kill some terminals.
Skynet.
Looks like Skynet came on.
Yeah. Mike Testa after the millionth Dead Ace joke asked text. That's actually Mike Testa making a joke about himself. I'm a little confused, but okay.
It's kind of great.
Oh, no.
So meta.
Hans, 46% of gay people, after being told their molester doesn't exist, it's a total fabrication.
Pure fiction. No way, never happened. No. Not a chance. No.
Nope. We
made it up.
We made it up.
It's fiction. We invented it. This story was made up by our writers.
Rigby again. I will live.
The real asexual hero in anime.
Jimmy Neutron's dad.
Jimmy's dad.
Yeah.
Totally.
Here's Hans again. Fuck me. I literally have more important things to do. He's basically asexual. Oh, honey.
Such confidence.
What have you done? What is going on there? I don't know. The LGBT community on... Oh, my God.
That's for one of the Red Faction games. I can't remember which one, though.
That's Red Faction?
Yeah, I think it's Armageddon.
Okay.
I played one of them.
Yeah,
I don't remember which one.
I don't remember that one at all. The same.
Fuck me. She was basically raped.
Fucking hell, dude.
New Brazil flag?
Up there he is again. There's Dollface.
What is happening? What is going? What is? Can anyone tell me?
In Brazil.
Can anyone tell me what's going on with all these flags and Dollface?
Look, dude, I'm just popular. Just not everybody can be as popular.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, here's the last one. Praise the letter H. Thank you, Mateus. Oh, all right. Man, that was long.
Someone did it.
If you did the Japanese flag, it would literally just be my face on a white background.
All right, let's read some super chats. Let's call it a night. Here's Mike Testa. Amanda Wynn Lee is crazy evil incarnate. Avoid her. I don't even know who that is.
Oh, she is a absolute sociopath, dude. Like, she is legitimately evil.
Okay.
Like, I'll go into one thing she did so we can wrap this up quickly. But she basically said to a girl, if you haven't been raped yet, and it will eventually happen or something to that effect, then I hope you'll think about this, because Amanda Winley has the crazy Vic Mignogna derangement syndrome.
So she wants women to rape people?
No, she's basically saying, like, a woman will be raped, and she said that if it doesn't happen, then it will happen eventually or something like that.
Oh.
It's been a while, but basically she said something awful about a girl. Essentially, trying to say like, yeah, you'll eventually get raped one day because you're a woman, and it's like,
Oh.
what the fuck is wrong with you?
See, this is why you buy from Japan. You don't subscribe to Funimation.
Yeah, the fucking number.
No.
It goes from like, it went from like, what was it, like 1 in 10 to 1 in 4 to 1 in 3 to just all women, just all of them,
Yeah,
all of
pretty
them,
much.
all the time, every day, all the time, they're all being raped right now. They're literally all of them right now.
And we're worried about the coronavirus. So
Frankly speaking,
Yeah.
Frankly speaking, I don't know how it's organized. I think that there must be some kind of rota system going on. You know, it just seems frankly impractical, but that's how it is, according to these people, and well, they clearly know what they're talking about.
Here's Alex Halo. That is Mordred, Saber's child kicking Astolfo. Yes, I knew that. I was referring to the character above Mordred because I didn't know who that character was, the whatever the avatar was. I couldn't recognize it. But the one beneath it was Mordred for sure. Maybe if it was the same character, they did not look the same to me. So, Mike Testa, all cost for you will lose hope. Let me read that one more time. Mike Testa, all cost or you will lose hope. Mike, that is, yeah. I can't do it, Mike. I'm sorry. Solid Redfield. Thank you, sir. One anime where the dub is better than the sub is Devil May Cry, since the games were exclusively voiced in English before Devil May Cry 4 SE. I could see that happening, sure. Okay. Makes sense. They voiced them in English first, and then it would work better with English. Yeah, sure, why not? Mike Testa. Oh, we got 3 more Mike Testas. Oh my god. Who gets mistaken for Hawk joins Hawkton? Okay. All right. Whatever you say, Mike. You skipped my meme of Goofy Luffy. Oh my god, dude, we went through like 50 of them. I don't.
Yeah,
I think it was a last minute. I think it was like a.
The one because it was the one where someone said "this goofy nigga," and then he made a meme out of it.
Yeah. Where he finds the One Piece and it's just a mirror, and it just says "this goofy nigga" on it. So
right.
that when he looks, it's
we'll get to it tomorrow because I can't just go back. I'm so tired. Don't worry, Mike. We'll get to it tomorrow. Mike Testa, last one. She said, "You will get R. I even if what, Mike? Okay, come on.
So he can't say rape. He can't say rape on the super chat.
Okay. She said you will get raped.
Yeah.
I even if this woman got raped.
I still don't understand.
I still don't get it. Mike, what is that? Go read the past. Oh my God, we're not going. Mike, this is so confusing. Go read the past super chat. It will make sense. AMA.
It's like the Mike Testa cinematic universe right there.
What the hell is happening?
Mike has the deepest of lore.
I'm scrolling up, but Mike, this is
Understand that it's about what do you call it, Amanda Lee or whatever.
Winley.
Yeah.
Mike, I just can't do it, man. This is too confusing.
It might be messing with you.
I'm so confused.
Maybe.
I have to go backwards. Like, what has happened? I can't do that.
And on that bombshell.
I need a drink. That's what. Holy crap!
I need some coffee.
Oh my god. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. That was long. Holy jeez. I thought we were done an hour ago, but So, holy crap. Tomorrow, you know what tomorrow is in case you don't know, if you're new to the Smudcast, we have the end of the month, Friday, which is Maggie Mayfish Day, and we have no idea which one we're covering. She gets crazier and crazier as the months go by. One was shown to me yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, I hope it's not that one. But we always leave it in Dunn's capable hands. He's the guy with this strong stomach for this stuff. So he will make a recommendation. If anyone wants to do it with me, I mean, you're more than welcome to come on, because it's always a hard...
Like the video, not like...
Yeah, I mean, at least buy me dinner first.
Not do it.
I was about to say, now I clarify their Smud.
I think we understood that, Dollface. I don't think anyone ever...
Take that fucking quote. Just clip that. Or like take that fucking quote, put it on the quote thing, in the like calligraphy writing,
I thought
like
that...
you can come on and do it with me.
Yeah.
Smud 2020.
If anyone wants to stomach through with me, or mentally stomach through it with me, watching a Magame Fish video, you're more than welcome. It's a hard thing to do. It's a long thing to do. Sometimes we go 2 or 3 nights in a row because it's so painful and slow and bizarre. It is truly the pinnacle of the Smudcast to watch this lady say things in English language and us to understand it with the same language and completely go nuts as to what the hell she's trying to say.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's a bizarre one. So thank you guys. If you're interested, bug me on Discord. Keep the recommendations coming. There's a suggestions channel for all that good stuff. We vote every day. So thank you for your time. Thank you everyone in the chat. Smud, are you thumbnailing my super chats? No, Mike, stop it. Stop, we're done. Go home, please. Please, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take it easy. Bye-bye.